Hello, this is Sky Mosley for the Alabama Gazette, your hometown conservative newspaper. The Alabama Gazette, always published under the banner of God, family, and country. They share your principles, your values, and the Alabama Gazette has the courage to defend those convictions in print. The Gazette celebrates their 24th anniversary, October 26th. There will be a big to-do downtown at their beautiful offices. The public is invited, food and fun for the entire family. Meanwhile, please consider advertising with the Alabama Gazette. They are most worthy of your support. Give them a call, 356-6700. Pro-life, pro-family, pro-America. That's the Alabama Gazette. 356-6700. Remember, advertising space is limited for that big 24th anniversary issue, so give them a call right now, 356-6700. The Alabama Gazette, informative, honest, trustworthy, your conservative alternative. That's the Alabama Gazette, 356-6700.
Actor portrayal, based on a real patient experience.
I'm Mike. I'm a husband, proud father of two, work my butt off 6 days a week, some nights too. When my family or my company needs me to make it happen, I make it happen. But a few months ago, I started having trouble making it happen, in the bedroom. I tried some pills online, but they didn't work. Honestly, I thought about throwing in the towel on my sex life, but I'm not that old. I still want to enjoy intimacy with my wife. Like that poet said, I don't want to just go gently into that good night. So I went to Montgomery Men's Health. Got some lab work done, was prescribed some meds, and wow, it made it happen. I can't say enough good about them. They took care of me, followed up, and made adjustments to make it happen even better. I even learned I had low testosterone, which they were also treating me for. And I have never felt better. If I were you and you're like me, I'd give them a call today at 334-440-3663 or go to montgomerymenshealth.com. If you like most guys, they'll make it happen for you too.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
After damning politicians uphill and down dale for many years as rogues, vagabonds, frauds, and scoundrels, I sometimes suspected, like everyone else, I often expect too much of them.
What the hell are we doing here?
We are behaving the way a superpower ought to behave.
Well, our behavior has produced some crappy results.
Fat broads and horse-faced lesbians.
Shut up! Silly woman. They used to say Abraham Lincoln got the worst press. I said, there's no way he got worse than me.
I got worms.
I got hairy legs.
That's how you conduct yourself in a democracy?
What in the world is this?
Hey, mister!
Before that,
I don't mean to be telling tales out of school, but there's a feller in there who'll pay you $10 if you sing into his can. I'm not here to make a record, you dumb cracker. They broadcast me out on the radio.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into News and Views. In the afternoon, I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader, my trusty sidekick in the studio with me. How you doing today, Eddie?
Pretty good, Joey. How you doing, bud?
I'm all right. Preparing for tomorrow. For those who don't know, Jack Campbell's funeral service will be at St. Peter's Catholic Church downtown Montgomery at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And I believe there's also a visitation tonight from 5 to 7. I want to make sure I get this right before I put it out there. But his Jack Campbell's obituary, John Martin Campbell, is on my Facebook page, folks. And so the service is tonight, 5 to 7, Leak Memory Chapel on Lincoln Road here in Montgomery. And that's tonight, 5 to 7, if you want to go to the visitation. And the funeral service is tomorrow at 2 in the afternoon at St. Peter's Catholic Church there on Adams Avenue. And in that spirit, though, I think Jack Campbell would want to celebrate. He's the sort of guy I think he'd want people to share a drink, share some stories. So hopefully we will begin to celebrate his life as well as commemorate it starting tonight. Now, there's plenty in the news, though, Eddie. Did you watch any of that debate?
I watched about 13 seconds of it.
Oh, I could not take it.
I couldn't. And it was Nikki
awful.
Haley, who I actually used to enjoy, but 13
she was
seconds
terrible.
of it was all I could handle, and I was done.
She was absolutely terrible. Oh, also, I found myself saying, Nikki Haley is a miserable liar.
Yes.
You are lying about Vivek Ramaswamy's record.
Right.
You're lying about Tim Scott's record.
Yep.
You're lying on everybody up there. No wonder you've been so successful in electoral politics up till now.
Up till now.
Because that's been the name of the game. Take a complicated issue and maybe a history people don't know and just reduce it down into a few sound bites and you just lie about people.
Yep. Well, it's working for the Democrats, so she said, hey, let's take that page. Let's run with it.
Well, and it was beyond, though, Nikki Haley. It was the whole format. Awful.
Was it awful? I literally, 13 seconds.
Like, I will say Stuart Varney has a magnificent voice, but not in an American presidential debate. And then there was clearly somebody behind the scenes in the producer's booth.
Oh, really?
Muting mics or lowering mics and upping mics, trying to control the crosstalk, and it just made for an absolute mess of sound.
They have to go with the shot collar policy. When your time is up and any kind of noise comes out of you,
right,
cures it.
But it was also like, I'll put it this way. The biggest divide, I would say, right now within the Republican Party, see if you agree, Eddie, is the question of foreign policy.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not just talking about Ukraine in particular, but generally our approach to the world.
Ukraine is a great sample of that, though, Joey.
Right. And so somebody like Donald Trump, Vivek Ramaswamy, J.D. Vance in the Senate. Now, I'm happy to say, 1819 News has a story on this today. Coach Tommy Tuberville is in this camp.
Excellent.
Well done, Coach. And I think even Senator Britt's like, not another round of funding on this one. So Barry Moore, I know, is in that camp as well. Right. But there are a lot of folks in Alabama. Look at Dale Strong. Look at Mike Rogers. Look at Robert Adderholt. They're all very much in favor of this stuff. Mitch McConnell's clearly in favor of this stuff. John Thune, John Cornyn. Like, all these people are in favor of more and more money.
Career politicians.
And so you would think when you have 2 hours to debate, and you know these folks, even though we find Nikki Haley miserable last night, a miserable liar. And calling Vivek Ramaswamy dumb is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard.
Okay, that's the 13 seconds that I caught. That is literally the clip that I caught and had to just move on.
Yeah.
She said something about every time you talk, I feel dumber or something. For her to say that to for her to say it to anybody is incredible, just an insult from. But to say it to that guy who had, honestly, I think is one of the smartest people that were up on that stage.
Right. He's actually provided real detail to his plans. He actually has a bold vision, too. It's not just what, Boeing told him to say.
Exactly.
But, well, here, if folks didn't get the chance to see this clip, we'll bring it up right now, folks. This is last night at the GOP debate. And, Vivek Ramaswamy is the target. And it wasn't just Nikki Haley. As soon as it got where Vivek might say something interesting, and again, he's doing a podcast, he's doing long-form interviews, like, you can hear this guy in a lot of detail, and you can even disagree with him, go, okay, pretty smart dude. As soon as he started to go in to get a flow, everybody would just start yelling and interrupting him. And then there was one other exchange maybe we could find where it's Tim Scott and Ramaswamy going back and forth, and Ramaswamy tried to say, well, all these folks up here are good people.
Yeah.
Well, last time you said we were bought and paid for. Hey, you dopes, saying you're bought and paid for is not a personal insult or attack on your character. It's a basic fact.
I was going to say, it's a fact.
And it's just a deep critique of a corrupt system. I'm sorry, pardon me, if you have to go hat in hand to donors. You are going to vote and behave differently in your governance than somebody who does not have to go to those donors, who can tell those donors, go take a hike.
I need you.
Right. And it is fascinating. The folks that don't rely on these donors, they're against more war. But those very reliant on the donor class, they're always for more war, the next war.
That's how they make their money, Joe.
Yeah, they're for the status quo. So I found that just, like, I see why Tim Scott went there. But calling you bought and paid for is just a fact.
Well, unless you can prove it differently, which they cannot.
Right.
Because if they could, they would have.
So let's go. This is the exchange we're talking about between Nikki Haley and Ramaswamy. Let's listen in.
There's one person on this.
This is infuriating because TikTok is one of the most dangerous social media apps that we could have. And what you've got, I honestly, every time I hear you, I feel a little bit dumber for what you say. Because I can't believe that here you've got a TikTok situation. What they're doing is these 150 million people are on TikTok. That means they can get your contacts, they can get your financial information, they can get your emails, they can get text messages, they can get all of these things.
This is very important for our party.
Exactly what they're
this
doing.
is very important for our party, and I'm going to say
you've gone and you've helped China make medicines in China, not America.
Liar! You're a miserable liar.
You're now wanting kids to go and get on this social media that's dangerous for all of us.
He literally just said the minute before, he wants to ban 16 and younger of even being on social media.
But again, if I talk louder, and I'm a woman, you have to listen.
Well, and also at the end of the day, this
You were in business with the Chinese that gave Hunter Biden $5 million. We can't trust you. We can't trust you. We can't have TikTok in our kids' lives.
This is very important.
You know what? I'm 54 years old, and I just realized this. If that was a white guy, she would not have said that.
Really?
Yep. She is trying to... Everybody in this country... questionable Vivek because of skin color. I'll say it. I don't care. I'll say it. And because
but isn't Nikki Haley also of Indian descent?
But she's look at the two. Who's darker?
I don't want to go. No, but they're both.
Joey.
Though she does use a fake name or a different Americanized name. Yeah.
Don't tell me that's not the case. So they found Americans. Hey, I'm not sure about this guy. That's everybody's saying. I'm not sure about it. So that's the basis they're going to run with. We can't trust him. You start that trust.
And I think she would have said that to any guy who's kicking her butt in a lot of the messaging and issues. Maybe so, Eddie.
I don't know.
No, but when you look at this issue, like, what are we yelling about here? Let's go back to the beginning of this. What are we yelling about here, Nikki?
Because TikTok is one of the most dangerous social media apps that we could have. And what you've got, I honestly, every time I hear you, I feel a little bit dumber for what you say. Because I can't believe that here you've got a TikTok situation. What they're doing is these 150 million people are on TikTok. That means they can get your contacts, they can get your financial information, they can get your emails.
Wait, is she talking about TikTok or the U.S. government? Is she talking about TikTok or Facebook?
Right.
Is she talking about TikTok or Instagram?
There you go.
Maybe Twitter X.
There you go.
How about any time you use any email, especially if you got a Gmail account?
Yep. Well, not only that, if you have an Android or Apple phone, they're tagging you. They're following you. They're sending you advertisement, whether you want to acknowledge it or not. They hear what you say. They send you those advertisements to go around what you say.
And I just don't find it impressive to go, no, TikTok! Oh no! TikTok! Vivek, you're bought and paid for by the Chinese! TikTok!
Right.
It was this it's awful. And at the end of the day, what bothered me the most is not the insult, like whatever.
Yeah.
You're a miserable liar. Because when you actually take the chance to listen to a candidate, when they go to a forum where they talk for an hour or two, you get the whole story. And in fact, I respect what Vivek did much more than any of these politicians late to the game. Vivek, as he tried to explain last night, he went into China, like everybody else trying to make money in China. And instead of continuing to make money with China, you saw it with the NBA, you've seen it with movie studios, you see all these folks who go, oh, yes, sir, Winnie the Pooh, Mr. Xi Jinping.
Pepsi, every one of them.
Instead, Vivek said, okay, we're getting out.
See ya.
Because he saw firsthand how bad it was. He then made it his purpose in life to bring up this woke agenda being in particular pushed by the CCP. And guess who in 2021 retweeted Ramaswamy's book and said, this guy has vision. He really knows what he's talking about. Nikki Haley!
What? Was she duped, Joey?
Nikki, I'm sure you're an interesting woman if I could actually sit down and have dinner with you in a conversation about the world. But the way you're acting on those debate stages, you are a miserable liar who is indeed bought and paid for. And again, that's not an insult. That's just a fact.
Honest truth.
And I'm tired of our system working this way. And honestly, the lot of them. Here's what's fascinating to me, Eddie. This is the point I was starting on. Even Nikki Haley and Vivek Ramaswamy and Tim Scott and Mike Pence. Pence is so miserable.
Yeah.
But all of them up there, Burgum, Doug, they all agree on things like school choice for the most part. No, I think Burgum voted against that in his state.
Right. There you go.
But they all generally agree on so many issues. because they are, at the end of the day, Republicans and in kind of the same camp. Where's the biggest disagreement? Foreign policy. That was, by the way, the portion you just heard, that was the so-called foreign policy portion.
That was it?
No, and as soon as Vivek tried to start to explain, they just yelled, "You love Putin! You want to give Taiwan to China! You love Putin!"
Who's the loudest? Drown out the truth.
So instead of yelling about foreign policy, because the adults in the room, in order to be an adult in the room, you have to act like a spoiled brat, toddler. Instead of just 10 minutes, maybe we could have had a 2-hour discussion like grown-ups in a detailed way about the ins and outs of foreign policy. But no, we can't present that to the American people. They might actually start thinking for themselves and thinking problems through. It is amazing. Go watch old debates like the Nixon-Jack Kennedy debates. They actually somewhat seem like adults having a conversation about important issues. And the further we get down the road, just watch each debate, starting with Jack Kennedy and Nixon. You keep going through the years. It starts to get more about glitz and glam. It starts to get more about sloganeering and stupid bumper stickers. And it starts to resemble more and more the idiocracy we are becoming. That said, Nikki Haley's a miserable liar. I can't stop. She drove me up. I lost a lot of respect for her last night, and maybe my respect ain't worth much. But for instance, I disagree fully with Chris Christie. But Christie comes across as himself. He comes across as, I've got a mission. He doesn't care if he gets... Yeah, he knows he's going to lose.
He's getting paid, baby.
He's going to go after Donald Trump no matter what. And well, let's go to Christie, because he tried one line out last night that I don't think quite landed how he had hoped it would.
Somebody give me a cheeseburger. Stat.
Yeah, the cheeseburger thing, Governor. Here, let's listen into this clip. He said.
So, we want to talk about crime. This has been a horrendous problem in our country. Fox News and others have been covering it. Governor Christie, crime in major cities is striking fear into the hearts of Americans. Just last night, looters took over the streets of Philadelphia. You said in the last debate that you would use U.S. attorneys to prosecute crimes local prosecutors won't. But they are stretched as well, and they could not handle all of the lawlessness, the shoplifting, all the carjackings, the armed robberies. They're all surging.
Before he answers, they asked Christie a lot of questions, by the way. Like, why? He's not going to be the nominee.
It's all rigged. That's part of the script.
It's because
Joey.
Fox News is very much like that wrestling promotion, You Love You, and the announcer's there, and he's like, it's a real slobber knocker. He just hit him in the solar plexus with a back heel kick. Amazing moves.
It's showmanship.
It's showmanship. And guess what? Those announcers often, especially in WWE, have a big man upstairs in their earpiece.
That's right.
It's exactly what Fox News is. They're there to frame the conversation in a
that.
way
That's
the
not
big
a
man
real
upstairs
debate.
wants it.
That's not a real debate.
That's why the big man, his rotundity, Christie, I think got so many questions. But let's let Christie deliver his pre-rehearsed line. We'll judge, Eddie, whether or not we thought it stuck.
Okay.
Progressive prosecutors were elected by their constituents, and they can't be fired by a president. So what would you do to end the revolving door of criminality?
Well, look, Dana, I'm the only one on this stage who's done it. For 7 years, I ran the 5th largest office in this country at the U.S. Attorney's Office in New Jersey, and we set records for the number of prosecutions that we brought that still have not been broken. And the reason was that we went after the crime that was affecting people's lives. And as president, I will appoint an attorney general and instruct that attorney general that you are to put all the resources that are necessary to bring our cities back under control. The fact is, they will be stretched. There's no doubt about that, but that's what they take the job for, because they love the idea of enforcing the law. We've got to bring law and order back to this country, and not just in our cities, but we need the law and order back everywhere. We need law and order back in our suburbs. People are threatened there. We need it in our rural areas. People feel threatened there, and we need it in Washington, D.C. also.
See, like, this is what I mean. By Christie, you can kind of see why he was once a big star for conservatives. He speaks well. He is clearly a smart guy, but he also, well, see, that's a pretty solid professional answer. A little boring, but solid, I think, sound answer. It shows he has experience in law enforcement. And then, see, here's Christie's problem. He's got this thing for Trump.
And Donald Trump should be here to answer for that, but he's not. And I want to look at that camera right now and tell you, Donald, I know you're watching. You can't help yourself. I know you're watching, okay? And you're not here tonight Not because of polls and not because of your indictments. You're not here tonight because you're afraid of being on the stage and defending your record. You're ducking these things. And let me tell you what's going to happen. You keep doing that, no one up here is going to call you Donald Trump anymore. We're going to call you Donald Duck.
All right. I want to ask Governor.
Maybe we should just play it again. Did you catch it, Eddie?
Afraid of being on the stage and defending your record. You're ducking these things. And let me tell you what's going to happen. You keep doing that, no one up here is going to call you Donald Trump anymore. We're going to call you Donald Duck.
That face.
Cheeseburger.
Look at that face right there. No, and one of my favorites on Twitter is the one, the only Michael Malice.
Yeah. I did enjoy
And he was on fire last night, live tweeting, especially when it came to Chris Christie. And I believe one of the lines off the top of my head was, it's funny that Chris Christie called Donald Trump Donald Duck because Christie himself is a flotation device. Yeah, there was a lot there. But just look at, if you're watching the live stream, Joey Clark Live on YouTube. You can also find on Facebook.
Like and
X
subscribe.
platform. Like and subscribe. Joey Clark Live on YouTube. Look at that face.
Right.
That is not the face of a winner.
No, it's not. But what disgusts me the most, again, I want somebody that's looking out for the best of the country. He's not seriously running. We know that. All his intent is vengeance. He's taking a paycheck from somebody that don't like Trump. So to me, he is not a good citizen, much less any type of political candidate. He needs to take his fat butt back to Jersey and stuff his face with a few more cheeseburgers.
Here's another Malice gem. The only sick burn Chris Christie has is heartburn. Hashtag white Lizzo.
Been there. Ooh, speaking of Lizzo, I saw her getting on a plane the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You think Joe Biden looks bad getting on a plane? Oof.
Let's go to, who's this? I'm one.
Jim.
Hey, Jim, how you doing? Did you watch this monstrosity?
No, I did not.
You made the right choice.
Smart man.
I was watching the great Donald Trump speaking to the auto workers. That's what I was watching. Isn't that a coincidence that he had a speech during this thing? Isn't that kind of strange that happened?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he would have, why? I mean, probably didn't plan that.
Serendipity.
You don't think that was intentional, do you?
No, my God.
Yeah.
No, but I'm looking at Drudge Report here, Jim, and it says that Trump could lose his skyscraper, high-rise, and golf club and estate, and that Don looked deflated, slowly beginning to sink in rambling Detroit speech, and then breaking news, developing Republican race about to shake with late entry. And it actually isn't a link to anything. It's just Drudge teasing something. It just goes back to Drudge. So
I don't call it
Babylon B.
Drudge is, it's kind of dredged now. I mean, it's not what it was. But no, I didn't watch it. None of those people are going to be nominated. So it's just a dog and pony show, and that Fox plugged like it was the greatest thing.
It was awful.
For the last week, it was just, here we go. This, and the young, and I don't even know her name. The other commentator on there, the one from the Spanish network, whatever her name was. You knew that she was going to ask all the liberal questions. I mean, that's why she was on there. Kind of like that. But I mean, it was terrible. Like I said, I didn't watch it. I just saw the stuff on the news today. The replays and all the stuff. Mm-hmm. And it was like another WWE match.
Yeah, not even that entertaining. It was very frustrating to watch, and just sad. Halfway through, I started just surfing
But what
Twitter.
does it prove at the end of the day, Joey? What good are these debates?
Without Trump there, number one, they're no good. Even with Trump there, I think they are an antiquated piece of a now defunct medium called cable news.
Yeah.
We got to come up with something else.
Something better.
Because a lot of those folks on that stage, I'm sure, could have a long, intelligent discussion. But they've been trained to say, no, we must do stupid sound bites that emotionally rile up the American people.
I agree with that.
And it's old hat. And I'm loving that people are, your age, Jim, my age, across the board, we're seeing folks go, I'm just tired of this crap, because that's what it is, crap.
Yeah. And I can see why Trump didn't want to be there. Why be there with those buffoons? Right. I mean, he would have totally destroyed them, and it would have probably ended up into one of those Geraldo Rivera brawls.
Well, that's what they want to do. They just want to try to get him on there so 6 of them can beat him up and try to make him look bad. And he's smart enough to go now. Why hang out with you losers?
Yeah, I don't. Fox is. I watch more Newsmax than. These days, there's a couple shows I watch on Fox. I watch Gutfeld every now and then, but even his show it's just basically a bunch of sexual innuendos, and have you watched it lately? It's just like every night it's the same old stuff. He tells all these kind of jokes that are you can take them several ways, and then they laugh about it, and it's not like it used to be either. But no, that thing last night. So when's the next debate?
I don't. Next month probably. About
is that going to be? I guess that'll be on Fox too, because nobody else is going to.
They need to go somewhere else, like Newsmax or the Blaze. I think would be great. The Blaze put together a great team, but it's just the Blaze is the one who did it with that family forum first. The sit down with Tucker.
Yeah.
And that was great. I thought that was engaging. And actually, last night Tucker put out an interview with Papa Bear Bill O'Reilly.
Is that right?
And it was great. I forgot how, when O'Reilly's not in the heat of a political argument, very charismatic, entertaining fella. And it was great seeing these two guys that ruled that time slot at Fox News sit there and talk about the changing industry.
You can see some of the great people Fox used to have on their station, and they're all gone.
Right, and they're doing incredibly well now that they've moved on from Fox. It is a new day. That's what O'Reilly said. He said, I knew when I first started at Fox, he was there for 20 years. When I first started, cable news was a joke. It was just getting started, but I knew it was the future. And then he ruled cable news for a long time. And he realized the writing on the wall. He's like, well, I now just need to go to independent media. That will be the future. And by the way, I didn't know this. He didn't lose his book deals, like his Killing series. He didn't lose his radio show. He didn't lose all sorts of. He just lost the TV spot, and he's still making millions and has millions of people paying attention to him.
One more thing, real quick. Did you see? This was after the thing that Sean Hannity was talking to Gavin Newsom. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that.
They got into a not. That guy is a pathetic liar. That news guy. I mean, what a joke.
You are one pathetic loser.
He wouldn't. What a loser. He tried to claim that the high gas prices in California, because there's some kind of a hidden, some $2 or somewhere, he doesn't know where it comes from. He said, I think they're price gouging. That's his explanation for it.
Yeah, they just got extra greedy all of a sudden. Yeah, right.
Yeah, and he's just, but man, he was just explaining, all this, this inflation. He said, man, you can't believe that stuff. That's just talking points and all that. I mean, the guy, if he ever became our president, that would be the end of our country. That would be the end.
Well, Jim, I appreciate the call. And again, you made the wise choice avoiding that thing last night. We got some Trump clips coming up, too, so I'm going to play that from his speech. But I appreciate it, Jim.
Yeah, I was watching a rerun of On Patrol Live. It was more exciting. All right, well, y'all have a good one.
See you, Jim.
272-9228 if you want to hop in on the conversation. This part of the program brought to you by Josh and Leslie Ryder there at Dillon Rings. And of course, folks, you can always go to DillonRings.com, see everything they have on offer there, but they are a full-service jewelry shop. Now, by full service, we mean they pretty much do it all.
They can clean your jewelry. They can resize your jewelry. Yes. They can create jewelry for you. That's one of the amazing things they do.
It could be a dream, and it'll be an actual piece of jewelry before you know it.
And one of the coolest things, like you said, if they do one like that, Joey, they can pull it up on the screen, kind of put it on your hand with your skin tone. That's cool, man.
They can also do repair.
Oh, that's right.
Jewelry repair and watch repair. Appraisal. Maybe you were given something or you found something you'd forgotten about. And you're like, I wonder what this is worth.
Heck yeah, that's a good idea.
Or they even do pearl stringing.
That's amazing.
Pearl stringing.
Because you got to drill it, and that's got to be incredibly just.
Yeah, we often say Josh Rudder is an artist.
Yeah.
But he's also a scientist. You go back to his lab, and it's pretty cool.
Got the mad scientist lab back there.
And, of course, Leslie's also wonderful. Just stop by 119 Brown Springs Road. Let them help you out. Show you their selection. It could be high-end pieces, or it could be that everyday jewelry that you don't mind if you lose it or mess it up, you don't want to, but it still looks great. It's not going to break the bank, and it still looks fantastic. They got it all going on there at Dillon Rings. So, again, you could always go to DillonRings.com or, well, just give them a call at 215-3669 or just, again, stop by 119 Brown Springs Road here in Montgomery, just off of Atlanta Highway. And be sure to tell Josh and Leslie Ryder there that Joey and Eddie from News and Views in the Afternoon sent you, oh, yeah, until the end of September, which is this weekend.
Yep, this weekend.
There's 25% off for the birthday
That's
boy
right.
discount
That's
on
exactly
select
right.
items. So ask them about that. More News and Views after this.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group. Here's your Real Estate Minute. What's the secret behind selling your home fast and selling it for fair market value or above? There's no secret, but here's some suggestions that I've learned over 46 years in the real estate business. First, price it right. Based on other sales in your neighborhood, what should it sell for? Second, make sure all the little and big repairs you may have put off all get done before you put it on the market. Third, consider making some improvements to your house first, repainting inside and out, updating the flooring, professionally clean the whole house. Fourth, consider helping the buyer with a portion of closing costs and providing a warranty too. Number 5, don't try to do this on your own. Hire a professional realtor to provide facts, tips in selling, and guidance all the way through the transaction. Also work with the best realtors from the Goodson Group, fully trained, service-oriented folks. Call Bo Goodson 221-2883 or the Goodson Group 551-0225.
Is your cell phone or iPad cracked, broken, or not working right? Don't let the big carrier stores sucker you into a new $1,100 device. Let XI Repair fix your device today. XI Repair fixes cell phones, computers, laptops, iPads, game consoles, drones, and more. Their certified technicians fix hundreds of devices every day. When your device needs care, call XI Repair, 334-777-1234, or Google XI Repair.
Next contestant.
Honey, you look confused. What's wrong?
I'm having a hard time remembering to take my medications like I'm supposed to. I didn't say anything because I didn't want to worry you.
I'm glad you told me, because I heard that Adams Drugs has a medicine on time service that will package your monthly medications and make them easier to manage. Our neighbors, Bill and Leslie, mentioned the other day that they use Adams and how they have made it so easy for them to manage their medications.
Do you think we can call Adams Drugs or go by there and see if they can help me? I don't want to get to the point where you have to put me into an assisted living home.
Why don't you get your medications together right now, and let's go down to Adams and talk to the pharmacist.
How much does the medicine on time service cost?
I asked Bill that same question, and he told me it's a free service for Adams customers.
Free? Wow, I'm feeling really good about this already. Let me grab my meds list.
Call Adams Drugs Medicine on time for your pharmacist consultation. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net for more information on our Medicine on Time packaging service.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
John, what are you doing? Get in my car. Why are you walking to work?
Thanks, man. It's these insanely high gas prices. They are draining my bank account. I can't afford to drive anymore.
Dude, don't walk. Just do what I do, because I never pay full price for gas anymore. I use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait, you're telling me you get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WINNING for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's promo code WINNING. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WINNING for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code WINNING.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
For 65 years, Guardian Credit Union has been your trusted financial partner. And now we're proud to extend that trust further by introducing Guardian Insurance Services. Whether protecting your home, car, or even your business, we've got the coverage that fits your needs. Our team is here to guide you every step of the way with the personalized service you know and love. Call 334-819-7555 for a free quote today. Guardian Insurance Services, building on 65 years of trust, now safeguarding your future.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. The rain prospects are not good, and the drought prospects continues to expand across the state. Today, fairly comfortable, a nice easterly breeze, and a high temperature up to about 84. Should be dry. Any sunshine, I think, will be limited. Partly cloudy tonight, overnight low 64. Then back to the upper 80s tomorrow, and then near 90 on Saturday and Sunday. Mostly sunny, tolerable humidity, fairly comfortable nights with temperatures in the mid-60s overnight. Still dry on Monday and Tuesday with highs in the upper 80s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
The MVP on a football field may change on any given Saturday, but the MVP in every other field is a Kubota. John Bobo with Capital Tractor. With the #1 selling compact tractor in America, Kubota equipment is a game changer. Capital Tractor, Montgomery, Brundage, and Greenville.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. 272-9228. Now, we're getting plenty of comments rolling in here on the live stream. And, well, Eric the Dog actually came up with something I was thinking, too. Was she, I believe Eric is referring to Nikki Haley, quoting Billy Madison when Nikki Haley said, "The more I listen to you, the dumber I feel," or something to that effect. Well, actually, I don't think it was Vivek that made everybody dumber. In fact, I don't think it was necessarily Nikki or Tim Scott or Mike Pence, all these folks up there. I think it was the whole daggum format. So to Fox News in particular, I would just like to say this.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Right.
May God have mercy on your soul.
Right. That's not directed at anybody in particular, just at the whole Fox News organization. And it is interesting to watch it go off the rails. There is a deeper critique here where they were framing a lot of questions like, what about the income gap? What about this or that? Hey, here's a good rule of thumb. I'm stealing this from Scott Adams.
Okay.
If somebody comes to you and says, we got a problem, and the problem they present is them comparing the average of any particular group against the average of any other particular group, whether it's wages or income or wealth or whatever it is, run away. This whole idea, we got to compare all men against all women. We got to compare all white folks and black folks against one another. The comparisons have to stick within these categories, and we're not going to assess people on an individual basis. We're going to constantly gripe over group disparities. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in helping individuals. I don't care if you're a man or woman, black or white, whatever, and whoever you are. If you say, come to me, I hope to be at a place one day in my life where somebody young and talented who's trying to figure out comes to me and I say, and says, this is what I'm trying to figure out. Can you help me? I would love to help that
As
person.
long as they're not asking about women, I think it's a great idea, Joey.
Yes, thank you for that. Somebody said the other day, why did Eddie keep bringing up his love life? And I think the truth is, folks, I'm not going to tell you. The truth is, a lot of middle-aged...
I'm old.
A lot of men out there of your ilk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think y'all are trying to live vicariously through me.
Yes.
And
That's
so you
exactly
keep giving
what
me
we
bad
do.
advice.
I don't think it's bad advice. It's advice we'd like to see what would happen.
Anyway, let's now go to, Donald John Trump.
Oh, yeah, you got some Donnie Trump?
Well, the debate was going on. Donald John Trump, 45th President of the United States. You know how I remember he's the 45th?
How's that?
Because it's always stuck in my mind. Maxine Waters going, impeach 45! Impeach 45! Impeach 45! Take it away, 45!
But I'm thrilled to be back with the workers, UAW members, and proud patriots of the great state of Michigan. Great state, great people. Here in Michigan and across the country tonight, there are countless thousands of auto workers and skilled tradesmen worried about the future and what the future holds for themselves and for their incredible families. I want to begin this evening by saluting these truly great Americans who do not get the credit they deserve. You don't get the credit they deserve. Now they want to go all electric and put you all out of business. You know that, right? To the welders, assembly line workers, machine operators, forklift drivers, pipe fitters, tool and die makers, mechanics, electricians, technicians, and journeymen, we love being with you, and we love being with you right in your environment.
Okay, I first got to say, I forgot, and I just remembered.
Mm-hmm.
I love it when Donald Trump starts to list things.
You notice there's no cheat sheet?
Right.
No cue cards?
Right, but I do love it when whether he's listing companies or listing types of jobs or
What
the
do you
menu
love so
items
much,
at
Joey?
McDonald's. Because
it
he
the
starts,
cadence?
yes, at a certain point he starts sounding like a cross between Lorne Michaels and Dr. Evil.
Well, we have Boeing here today. We have with the windmills, folks. The windmills. You know, the energy's a little intemperate. Intermittent, excuse me.
No, I just love it when Trump starts listing things. And you got to love, like all these sites, like Newsmax all of a sudden, free gold coin. Like, God,
we can get free gold coins?
We got pop-ups on TV now.
Oh, I just realized that's on TV. I was thinking that was a real deal.
You built this country, you love this country, and you are the ones that make our country run. You know that, right? Before I stepped into the political arena 7 years ago, I spent my whole life working alongside of Americans just like you. Spent a lot of time with you. You just don't know that, but I spent a lot of time with you and people just like you. Now, I put everything on the line to fight for you. I've risked it all to defend working class from the corrupt political class that has spent decades sucking the life, wealth, and blood out of this country. That's why I'm here tonight to lay out a vision for a revival of economic nationalism and our automobile manufacturing lifeblood, which they're sucking out of our country.
And I'm liking the folks within the Amen Corner. We need it.
I know it.
I want a future that protects American labor, not foreign labor. A future that puts American dreams over foreign profits. And a future that raises American wages, that strengthens American industry, that builds national pride, and that defends this country's dignity, not squanders it all to build up foreign countries that hate us. And you know where they are? They're located all over the world, but they're mostly on the other side of the world. We don't want that. Under crooked Joe Biden, you have none of this. You have none of the things we want. Instead of economic nationalism, you have ultra-left-wing globalism. They hate our country. And the workers of America are getting, to put it very nicely, screwed. You're getting screwed. Yesterday, Joe Biden came to Michigan to pose for photos at the picket line. But it's his policies that send Michigan auto workers to the unemployment line. He only came after I announced that I would be here. You know, he announced quite a bit later. Spoke for a few seconds. Did you notice he spoke for what, a few seconds? And he had absolutely no idea what he was saying. He didn't know where he was. He didn't know where he was. He didn't know what we were saying. Where am I? He's saying, where am I? Oh, you're in Michigan. Oh, that's great. What do they do in Michigan? They grow wheat in Michigan, he said. They grow wheat. That's Iowa. I know the places. Biden's cruel and
I know the
ridiculous
places.
Electrical. Think of this. He wants electric vehicle mandates that will spell the death of the U.S. auto industry. You know, it doesn't matter. I watch it. You're negotiating a contract. You're all on picket lines and everything. But it doesn't make a damn bit of difference what you get, because in 2 years, you're all going to be out of business. You're not getting anything. What they're doing to the auto industry in Michigan and throughout the country is absolutely horrible and ridiculous. Hundreds of thousands of American jobs, your jobs, will be gone forever because crooked Joe Biden is selling out. But I don't think it's him. I don't think he actually knows what the hell he's doing. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. It's not his fault. Let's not blame him. But he's surrounded with radical left Marxists and crazy people, fascists, bad people. He's selling you out to China. He's selling you out to the environmental extremists and the radical left. People have no idea how bad this is going to be also for the environment. You know, those batteries, when they get rid of them, and lots of bad things happen, and when they're digging it out of the ground to make those batteries, it's going to be very bad for the environment.
That 5 minutes of Trump there, Eddie, that was more entertaining than anything in the
sure.
debate last night.
Sure. I hope if he
Seriously.
wins, I hope when he walks down to accept the victory that they play My Way by Frank Sinatra. Because if anybody ever did it his way, it's Donald Trump, man.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody tells him, you know, you're on your worst.
I'm sure being a New York guy, he loves that song.
Yeah.
Sinatra's Old Blue Eyes was big for a reason. Dude was good.
For sure. But when you mentioned about cars not car manufacturers not being here anymore, there is a lot of stories, a lot of chatter about in 10 to 15 years there will be 2 car companies left in the world, Toyota and Tesla. There is a lot of statistics coming out that kind of back that up.
Well, and get a load of this headline here, Eddie. Huge explosion fueled by EV batteries rips through airport, killing a boy, 15, and injuring 163 people in blast felt for 20 miles. A boy of 15 has been killed in a giant explosion feared to have been triggered by detonating electric car batteries. This is actually in Uzbekistan, so maybe their standards of storage aren't that great.
I'm sure they're different than ours.
But we've heard this before about these things.
There's a lot of things, and a lot of things we don't know about, or they don't tell us. For one, the weight of the car is going to triple. So that's going to lead to more highway traffic, or more highways being torn up.
Look at that.
Parking garages cannot handle a fleet of battery-operated cars. They can't handle the weight.
No, they can't.
What about these 18-wheelers? That's more batteries. I mean,
what about our electric grid itself?
Oh, that's where we start. That's where.
But look at the screen, Eddie. Look at that explosion.
Oh yeah.
Wow. That looks like a cruise missile the Russians fired at the Ukrainians. That's insane.
Yeah, and it gets so hot. The flames are so hot. The fires are hard to put out. It takes a special kind of chemical.
Man. Yeah. Well, here, let's hit a quick break. I believe we got a representative from the Wetumpka Oktoberfest coming in.
Oh, nice.
Which that'll be a lot of fun to talk about.
Yeah. Bring it, baby.
And we'll be right back after this, folks.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
This is your roving reporter, and today I'm talking with a famous broadcaster.
Hey man, what's happening?
Now, I understand you radio people move a lot, is that correct?
Yeah, sometimes.
Well, how does this affect your taking care of your retirement money?
Oh man, I don't give that a second thought because my buddy David Ernest, he's my money man.
Your money man?
With the money plan.
I see.
So no matter where I go up and down the dial, David has my back, you know?
I'll bet you know some phone numbers our listeners could call to talk with David Ernest.
334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839.
And he has a website at retirewithernest.com.
Hey, you're on top of it today, man.
I also understand that you hold some sort of a record in broadcasting.
Yes, I was the first person to put together a show with myself, a duck, a chicken, and a goose. But it didn't last long. We got taken off the air.
Why were you taken off the air?
Too much foul language, man.
Oh my.
So I wasn't crazy about that one myself.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Exit Realty is growing. Exit Realty focuses on everything it takes to make a real estate office successful and provides opportunity to brokers and agents unlike any other real estate brand.
Training, technology, an opportunity to earn an exceptional income and even retire and leave a legacy and benefits for your family. Interested in a great real estate career? Text BAMA to 85377 to learn more. That's BAMA to 85377.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back, folks. The news and views in the afternoon. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the program. And joining us in the studio now, it's Lee, and she is with the Wetumpka Oktoberfest event that's coming up. How you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm all right. I just need to learn to say I'm good.
You're good.
Not elaborate, but tell us about this big event coming up.
Yeah, so this event is Saturday, this Saturday, September 30th, from 11 to 8. We got a full day event.
Wow.
Yeah.
Big day.
Yeah, we wanted to pack it in and make it a family event for everyone. So we've got 6 bands, 2 stages. We've got a car show, an art show, about 50 vendors, food trucks, and what I'm really excited about is we've got a kids family area this year.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, so there's going to be a petting zoo and face painting and putt-putt, and our generous sponsors have allowed that to be free and open to everyone.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
That's
me
awesome.
too.
So you said 2 stages and 6 bands?
Yep.
What kind of music or bands are we talking?
Well, we've got Polka Wagon, a polka band coming out of Nashville. Yeah.
You cannot be sad
Yeah.
with polka music.
Yeah, I'll say it, I'm a Polak, and mostly, and my very Polish great-grandfather, he would give me candy. And by the way, you keep it in his dishwasher because he's like, what the heck is this? I'll just wash it my own plate with my hands. And so to get the candy, though, he would put on polka music and, da 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 da, and I would have to dance to the polka music. So maybe I'll go there to keep jogging those memories.
Come on out, man. It'd be like nostalgia, right?
There you go.
Right. So the polka band.
We have a polka band, and then we have a lot of great local music. Mother Moon Pie, Fireside Alibi, the Lo-Fi Loungers. We got kind of a selection of music to cater to everyone.
Like I said, it's going to be from 11 to 8, so you're going to cover from light to dark. So
basically.
in the afternoon, what type of entertainment all do you have going on?
Well, the bands will go through all day. And
do you have face painting? Because
we do have face painting.
can an adult hang out at the face painting?
Absolutely.
All right, just checking for a friend.
Absolutely.
Cool, just checking.
Yeah.
They do
Especially
tigers?
adults who are essentially man children.
Do they do tigers?
I'm sure they would for you.
I feel so special.
And this is free and open to the public.
Free and open to the public, and it's just been a great community effort. We were talking earlier about Grumpy Dog.
Yes.
Putting together a hot dog.
The
eating
hot dog
contest.
eating contest. I read that they've got all their contestants ready to go. This is going to be good.
Yeah.
This is really going to be good.
Yeah. We're excited about it. The car show kind of jumped in. They're going to have German cars.
Oh, really?
I don't know much about cars, so I can't tell you much more about that. But they are going to be over at the farmers market side of the river.
Excellent.
But all of this is open all day long to just come down and enjoy what we've got going on. Visit our shops and our restaurants in Wetumpka. They're fantastic
We've got some great
too.
ones. Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
I live in Titus, so Wetumpka's my hometown. I go through there
Awesome.
every day. They got some downtown Wetumpka is everything I wanted it to be 20 years ago, and it's still growing. I think that's great.
Yeah.
We've got some great architecture down there, and we've got some great art studios, but we also have some great food.
Yeah, and more coming.
Yeah,
more
that's
coming.
what I've heard.
And I know you've been really leading the charge on this. I know
Mhm.
there's a lot of help too, but like, how long has this been in the works? And to know that this Saturday the event's happening, what's that like?
Man, well, we decided the Oktoberfest was last year also, and that was not going to happen because the person who ran it last year is no longer in town. And come about February, March, people started talking about Oktoberfest, and it was May when I said, I guess I'll pick it up and go with it. And it's been a great effort. I've got great people on the committee. Main Street Wetumpka has been fantastic with their support.
Awesome.
And yeah, I'll tell you, I've got a nap planned for Sunday. That's for sure.
Amen. But again, folks, that's this Saturday, 11 in the morning till 8 at night. The music starts right at 11. All the festivities start right there at 11. Is there going to be beer?
There will be beer.
All right, I was just checking.
Yeah, there will be.
Oktoberfest.
Absolutely.
And beer go in.
Yeah, Coosa River Craft House will be supplying beer.
Excellent.
And an excellent selection.
Yes, they do.
That was just a selfish question for me.
No, that's a very important question.
Are we leaving anything out before we let you
I
go?
think so. I want to thank our platinum sponsor, Wind Creek Casinos. They've been extremely generous, which has allowed us to bring on all of these great options for everybody. So we just really appreciate our sponsors.
Heck yeah.
Well,
beautiful
thanks
location.
for stopping
the weather's
by,
going to be
Lee.
great. So don't worry about rain. Rich Thomas said we got a great weekend weather
And thank you for
forecast.
keeping this going. It could have. I love this.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
No, this is like you're talking about Wetumpka. I mean, they're just such a great community,
Yeah.
and having these kinds of events just
It's
you know,
awesome.
pulls everybody together.
Again, folks, free and open to the public. Downtown Wetumpka, Saturday. Y'all check it out.
Thanks.
Thank you, Lee.
Yeah.
More news and views after this.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Jason Walker. Several of Donald Trump's rivals stepping up their attacks against him last night in the second GOP presidential debate held in California. The former president does have a large lead over his opponents in almost all of the latest polls. House Republicans earlier today opening the first hearing of the Biden impeachment inquiry against the president. They've heard testimony today from a trio of experts from tax law, criminal investigations, and constitutional legal theory. Applications for unemployment benefits up slightly from this week after reaching the lowest level in 8 months the previous week. Labor Department says filings for jobless claims rose by 2,000 to 204,000. This is SRN News.
Donald Trump's indictment proves that saving America is not going to be easy. There are entrenched powers that are fighting this with everything they've got. They want to keep control over the country, the narrative, and the nation's money supply. Hi, I'm Lance Wallnow. I'm a news analyst, a Christian author, an evangelical leader. I speak to millions of people every week, people just like you. You see, what the elites are doing is using inflation and government handouts and now central bank digital currencies to determine how they're going to control America. And that's why I recommend all Christians start a gold IRA from the Birch Gold Group. Because physical precious metals are one of the few ways you can maintain control over your own savings. To get a free info kit on gold IRAs, text the word faith to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and you'll see why a gold IRA can help you. There are no strings attached. Text the word faith to 989898 and you're going to be blessed by taking action right now.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. Alabama Wholesale Lumber, the best quality building materials in the river region for decades. From common builds to special orders and local delivery. Call Alabama Wholesale Lumber.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. The rain prospects are not good, and the drought prospects continues to expand across the state. Today, fairly comfortable, a nice easterly breeze, and a high temperature up to about 84. Should be dry. Any sunshine, I think, will be limited. Partly cloudy tonight, overnight low 64. Then back to the upper 80s tomorrow, and then near 90 on Saturday and Sunday. Mostly sunny, tolerable humidity, fairly comfortable nights with temperatures in the mid-60s overnight. Still dry on Monday and Tuesday with highs in the upper 80s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
For the lowest prices around on flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies, Budget Floors & More is your new best friend. Luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors & More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey Publix.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting Newsroom, here's today's top stories. Another deadly shooting in Montgomery. A man was shot and killed early Wednesday morning on Zelda Road. The victim was pronounced dead on the scene near the curve where Ann Street becomes Zelda Road. The project price cap for construction of the new 4,000-bed prison in Elmore County has been increased to over $1 billion. When completed, the Elmore facility will become the most expensive prison ever built in the United States. The community of Pine Level has voted to incorporate and become Alabama's newest town. The measure passed by a mere 16 votes, 59 to 43. Residents hope the move will prevent another municipality from annexing Pine Level. From the Blue Water Broadcasting Newsroom, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
It's the 70th Alabama National Fair, October 6th through the 15th. Enjoy the rides, circus, shows, and the food. Opening day, get in for $1 when you bring a non-perishable food item for the food bank. And check the fair's outside stage with nightly entertainment, plus all the free shows daily. Save time. Skip the line, buy in advance from the fair website or the free fair app in your app store. 17 and under must be accompanied by a parent or guardian, 21 years of age or older. It's the best 10 days of fall. Alabama National Fair.
Sponsored by the Kiwanis Club of Montgomery, Hyundai Motor Manufacturing Alabama, and Coca-Cola.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. Now, as you might have just seen there on the live stream, during the break, we'll preview sometimes what we got coming up, folks.
Yeah.
Joey Clark Live on YouTube. Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Joey Clark Live on YouTube. Well, this is a big story from Matt Taibbi and an anonymous Twitter internet sleuth called Undead Foya.
Foya?
Yeah, Undead Foya.
Okay.
And so here's the big headline, folks. I'll pull it up on the stream. Forget collusion. Was interference also fake news? Open records investigation suggests the same academic researchers responsible for the infamous Alpha server hoax were likely also the government's initial source that Russia did the DNC hack. Interesting.
Very interesting.
The same Clinton campaign-connected researchers who helped generate an infamous fake news story were likely the U.S. government's source for the initial announcement that Russians hacked the Democratic National Committee, according to documents produced across years of open records requests and congressional letters. According to a letter recently sent to Iowa Senator Chuck Grassley by the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, or DARPA, as you might call it, work on attribution of the hack was done by a Georgia Tech team. They're ones who said it was a Fancy Bear APT-28 attribution analysis, Russian hackers. That Georgia Tech team was led by researchers David Dagan and Manos Antikakakis, or
I'm already suspect.
He's some Greek fella.
Yep.
Known to be sources, those two gentlemen, David and Manos, were known to be the sources for the infamous Alpha server story, claiming that the Trump team was engaging in a bizarre scheme to beep back-channel secrets to Russia's Alpha Bank. The never believable Alpha story has been dismissed by the Justice Department's Inspector General and is destined to take a place alongside the P-tape and the secret talks of Paul Manafort and Julian Assange as one of the most absurd pieces of much-reported, never-happened news from the Trump-Russia period. The August 7, 2016 date is an important last piece of confirmation, as DARPA, until recently, denied being involved with this work. It was turned up by Grassley, who himself was acting in significant part upon information gathered across years of Freedom of Information Act and state open records requests. This story is a textbook example of how citizens like this story's pseudonymous co-author Undead Foya and the Sluice Corner can use public access laws to uncover important news, where journalists paid to do the job won't bother. You can read more of their analysis. Well, just look up Matt Taibbi's Substack, Racket News. For years, collusion and interference were the biggest stories in the world. Then the Mueller report fizzled, COVID-19 and January 6 arrived, and new details that emerged in no longer front-page stories were ignored. A pause now to take a look back reveals a very different picture than what the public remembers. Now, Taibbi also put together, with the help of an artist, essentially a timeline of events. So April 11th, 2016, folks, I've got the timeline pulled up on the live stream. Joey Clark Live on YouTube. Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
April 11th, 2016, Eddie. On behalf of the Hillary Clinton presidential campaign, the law firm Perkins Coie engages the opposition research outfit Fusion GPS.
I remember them.
April 14, 2016, the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee is reportedly hacked. April 22nd of 2016, the Democratic National Committee is also breached by hackers. April 28th, 2016, IT contractors working for the DNC discover unusual activity on their servers. April the 30th, outside contractor CrowdStrike is engaged to investigate unusual activity in the DNC. Company co-founder Dmitry Alperovich later claims that almost immediately after hire, CrowdStrike detected systems started lighting up. Their detection system started lighting up with indications of intrusion. In May of 2016, based on dates of emails ultimately released by WikiLeaks, exfiltration of Democratic Party emails begins. CrowdStrike starts what we call the remediation event. That is, it takes steps to remove hostile actors from DNC servers more than a month after both initial breach and exfiltration of emails. DNC publicly claims it has been hacked by Russia in the middle of June. But if the guys who did this research are the same ones that made up those stories out of whole cloth, and this all happens, the hack is announced after Perkins Coie hires this hit firm, which I think it was Andrew McCarthy's book, Dan Bongino's book goes into this. Fusion GPS were some of the biggest hitmen in the world, not literal hitmen that I know of, but reputation destruction. They made a lot of money in South America, essentially accusing people of child sex, child porn, stuff that wasn't true. But as soon as that's in the press everywhere, even if it's not true, that's not a good look, especially if you're, say, a CEO of a big business and you're trying to fight with the government over something. Yeah, they did all sorts of nasty work all over the world, and their stock and trade was this sort of reputational destruction. So the timeline goes on a little bit. So when the news broke in June 2016 that DNC servers had been hacked, according to the New York Times, Georgia Tech University researchers employed in a research project funded by the DARPA began an investigation in parallel at the behest of Rodney Jaffe of News Star. Jaffe had a connection with Perkins Coie lawyer Michael Sussman. Oh, he's one of the guys who got in trouble, but then got a pass by a Washington, D.C. jury. Using data sets intended to be analyzed for DARPA, they looked for electronic evidence of Russian connections to Donald Trump. In August, they then deliver a report to DARPA titled Fancy Bear APT-28, Attribution Analysis, the one we just mentioned. This is not disclosed to the public. It only comes out in response to a senator's letter over 6 years later. August 20th, 2016. This head guy, Jaffe, writes to the researchers, quote, being able to provide evidence of anything that shows an attempt to behave badly in relation to this, the VIPs would be happy. Wait. If your server's hacked, what would you say to the folks? It's more like, no, find out who did this. Right. But what do they say here? To provide evidence of anything that shows an attempt to behave badly in relation to this, which is a weird way of putting it. The researchers, having keyed on a theory of Russia's Alpha Bank being connected to Trump, expressed concern to Jaffe that they don't have good evidence. One of them writes, quote, how do we plan to defend against the criticism that this is not spoofed traffic we are observing? There's no answer to that. The only thing that drives us at this point is that we just do not like Trump. This will not fly in the eyes of the public scrutiny. I'm afraid we have tunnel vision. One of the researchers himself wrote that. Despite the researchers' concerns, Perkins Coie lawyer Sussman pitches reporters the Trump Alpha Bank story. Now we're in September of 2016. Sussman meets with the FBI General Counsel Jim Baker to present a white paper on the relationship between Trump and Alpha Bank years later. The claims are dismissed by the Department of Justice Inspector General. Yeah, the Alpha Bank thing is ridiculous, just as ridiculous as the golden showers idea and all that nonsense. Now, in October of 2016, the Department of Homeland Security and the Office of the Director of National Intelligence released the first public statement making an official public attribution of the hack to Russia. So, wait, they're hacked in April.
Right.
And the federal government finally comes out in October 2016, right before the election in November, and says it was Russia who did the hack of the DNC. The only known report the government has received on the issue comes from the same DARPA researchers who worked on the Alpha paper, the ones who said, I think we got tunnel vision on this. We don't like Trump. We're not going to survive public scrutiny. Maybe that's why this was buried for 6 years. Then in October 13th, 6 days later, FBI agent Elvis Chan asked for access to CrowdStrike data of Perkins Coie lawyer Michael Sussman, who promises to check if it's, quote, with CrowdStrike now or at the DNC, underscoring another fact not disclosed until years later, that CrowdStrike was not involved with the October 7th attribution, which is amazing. It said it was an outside firm who found that the Russians did that. No, the government was relying on this DARPA report from researchers who have been shown to be making stuff up. Slate, in October 31st, 2016, Slate, whose reporter had met with Sussman, publishes a story on Alpha Bank and Trump. December 9th, 2016, after the election, the shock win by Trump. President Barack Obama orders the intelligence community to assess Russian election activities. January 6, 2017, the Office of the Director of National Intelligence relating an intelligence assessment describing the unprecedented Russian interference in the 2016 election. Then we're off to the races with Trump and them colluded and all that. So if you thought collusion was just a hoax, what Matt Taibbi is essentially suggesting here, folks, is that this was completely made up as well. For instance, the Department of Homeland Security announced on October 7th that the recent disclosures of alleged hacked emails on sites like DC Leaks and WikiLeaks and by Guccifer 2.0 online persona are consistent with the methods and motivations of Russian-directed efforts. The language about the hacks being quote-unquote consistent with the methods and motivations of Russian-directed efforts, Russian-directed, is oddly weak beer and came during the same time frame when the story is being hawked to Slate, which is just kind of a rack at this point.
I thought so.
Emails from Clinton lawyer Michael Sussman to the FBI on October 13th, meanwhile, show federal law enforcement still did not have any data from CrowdStrike when the October 7th announcement was made. So slowly but surely this is all coming out. Does the average American necessarily care? Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not. But it is remarkable. Was it all made up out of whole cloth?
Kind of sounds that way.
And it makes you wonder if it wasn't clearly the Russians who did this, who did? It goes back to, what about that whole Seth Rich thing?
Right.
Or a lot of folks for a long time were suggesting it was an inside job.
Well, it wouldn't surprise you now, but look where we're at now. How far we've come down the road. It would not surprise me.
Well, I just appreciate
still gunning for him.
Like we were saying in the first hour, independent media is the future. And Matt Taibbi, talented reporter, this is at Racket.News. It's his Substack page, and Taibbi's putting out great work there. So I appreciate being able to bring that to you. All I got to do is read. Didn't have to even do the work. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. This part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And they're at Montgomery Men's Health. Well, they can help you men out.
They sure can, Joey.
They are truly reinventing men's health care here in the River region. So if you're feeling sluggish, run down, tired, if you've lost your edge, like that extra gear you used to have when you knew you had to put pedal in the metal, if you're haunted by past memories of your younger self that could go all day, all night without stopping, maybe you're just never in the mood. Sorry to bring it up, but if you got a low libido, all these could be a sign.
That's exactly right.
And symptoms of low T, low testosterone. So what you need to do is get by Montgomery Men's Health. For only $99 in about an hour, you can know your testosterone numbers, and they have treatments there that can truly change your life. Most men after these treatments experience higher energy, better gains in the gym.
Brother.
That's right, brother. Better mental clarity, improved sleep patterns. You might even notice an increased libido.
Man, there ain't nothing wrong with that.
There's a lot right with it. Yeah. So check out Montgomery Men's Health today. Again, they're reinventing men's healthcare here in the River region. Prioritizing your health as a man has never been more important. Call them at 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com and be sure to tell them, well, you heard about them here on News and Views in the afternoon with Joey and Eddie. More News and Views after this.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting. 294-5122. That's PBS Painting. 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
Hey y'all, this is Tammy at Mama's Produce, and it's a new season here. We're not going anywhere. We'll be here through the fall. We've got all of your tailgate needs. We've got breakfast needs. Don't forget we got new sausages in. Those sausages we had last year, they're back. Still got your tomatoes, other fresh vegetables, and we're going to have some new things coming online, so stay tuned to our Facebook page and look out.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. If you're looking for waterproof carpet, hardwood, laminate, vinyl plank, or ceramic tile, call us today for your free measurement.
During Prattville Carpet's fall sale, you can get Mohawk waterproof flooring, regularly priced at $11 per foot installed, right now priced at $7 per foot installed. That's huge fall savings. And get interest-free financing for up to 12 months with approved credit. Call 285-8117 or visit PrattvilleCarpet.com.
Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values. This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. This part of the program brought to you by James Cole and Cole Plumbing. And folks, whether you have an emergency problem like a burst pipe inside or outside your house, they have that proprietary pipelining technology where they can solve it with precision and expertise. It means they're not going to make a big mess, tearing out drywall, digging up a hole in your yard.
You don't want that, man.
No, with that precision and expertise, they can solve the problem, but they can help you with more than just those emergencies.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of common problems like low water pressure.
Low water pressure or slow drain.
Or clogged drain.
Oh, that ain't no good, Joey.
Maybe tree root invasion.
That happens a lot, especially that usually causes both of those issues we're talking about, weak water pressure and or slow draining.
Yeah, that's a real thing. Maybe even have like a gas line leak. I could work on that there for you.
I've had one of those, and actually James Cole has come over there and taken care of it.
And, maybe you just need your sump pump fixed.
Or maybe
it could
you need
be
one installed.
You don't have a problem at all. You just want to upgrade. Maybe do a tankless water heater system. Maybe you're running a new water line or need to as you renovate your home. Cole Plumbing can help you with all of that.
Definitely.
So you can always go to coleplumbing.com, make an appointment online at coleplumbing.com, or give them a call at 279-8919. That's 279-8919. And just remember, folks, when you have trouble with your bowl,
call on Cole, Joey.
Well said, Eddie. Well said. Indeed. Coming up, we will have Jeff Deist, my good friend.
That's
Jeff
right.
Deist,
He's gonna call
into the program. And, I'm trying to think, do we go back to the debate? Or do we just carry on our merry way?
If I had
that
my
dumpster
brother-
fire, you're done with it?
Yeah, leave that dumpster fire behind.
Okay. How about this quick story?
Okay.
India very successfully got to the moon.
Yes, they did.
Right.
Not a whole lot of press about that either, by the way.
Sadly.
Yeah.
Well, that's great for them.
It surprised me. That wasn't a whole lot of press.
They learned how to fake it too.
Bollywood.
Here's the headline. It's looking increasingly likely India's historic lunar lander is dead for good.
Oh, we leaving trash up there again?
Man. What a shame. India made history last month, first country to land near the moon's south pole.
Mm-hmm.
Several days after they were set to wake up, this lander and its sidekick lunar rover remain fast asleep, and now it seems they're going to be dead for good. The robots went to sleep in early September when night set in on the moon.
Yep.
And their batteries drained.
They probably use them Chinese batteries.
The next lunar day started on September the 22nd And the Indian Space Research Organization hoped the two spacecraft, which run on solar power, would reawaken that day as the sun rose on the moon and its solar panels recharged. Unfortunately, they didn't respond to Mission Control's message.
I hate that.
Dadgum. At least it's not people stranded up there.
What was that solar company that Obama propped up?
Solyndra?
Is that the solar panels that they bought?
I don't know. But how do you, that's a lot of money to send that thing up there. You successful landing and then they just go to sleep. Oof. That's no fun whatsoever. And then my usual daily routine, is I look at Drudge Report and I get angry.
Yes.
Well,
I can't stand even looking at him.
Really?
I would love to just see an egg all over his face.
Republican race about to shake with late entry?
Who's the late entry, Joey?
Wow, scoop from Robert Costa of the Washington Post, I think. Push for Glenn Youngkin 2024 now taking shape as donors and Republicans grow alarmed. Red Vest Retreat, October 17th, 18th at Virginia Beach. Billionaire backer Petterfee
goodness.
assures me money would be there. Bill Barr telling him to put his oar in. That sounds dirty.
Yeah.
Put your oar in, brother.
What party are you going to?
But are we ready for Glenn Youngkin? Who's excited for the red vest wearing, soft-spoken guy that kind of reminds me of a jar of mayonnaise?
Dude, come on.
But he did so well winning an election there in Virginia. Well, and Ron DeSantis did so well in Florida. It keeps happening. Remember when they pushed Scott Walker for a while?
Yes, I remember that.
And then he was just a dud on the debate stage. Remember when they pushed Tim Pawlenty for a while? That he was a dud on the debate stage. Remember low energy Jeb?
But that's what I don't understand. You're backing a candidate. Shouldn't they have a big thing they need to have is personality? Let's be honest.
Yes.
A lot of times nowadays, especially, they ain't got to be that smart, but they got to have some personality.
Yeah.
They're picking duds.
Actually,
man.
maybe we're just the ones that are off here, Eddie.
No
and
doubt about that.
What the really responsible, wise Americans want is things to be so boring, you want to go to the rickety stool and rope store. But instead, you go to vote. And you go, well, maybe the Republicans will fix it this time.
Nah, I have no faith in nothing like that either.
I would hear out anybody that hops into this race. I'll hear out Glenn Youngkin if he hops in. But if I was advising that guy, I'd be like, stay in Virginia, you dope.
Right.
Don't do this.
Right. Again, I think he's one of those people that's just, I need this on my resume, But again, is it best for the country to bring in this guy? Is there any good that can come out of it that you and I are not seeing?
Well, you'd be like a solid conservative that doesn't make suburban women mad or have flashbacks to their ex-husbands. Which is apparently what Trump does.
Really?
Yeah. He's just rude, boorish, misogynistic, all these things, right?
He's a man's man, baby.
But Glenn Youngkin, that's the big announcement, that Youngkin could jump into this thing. And when I think about that debate stage last night, I'm thinking, okay, what would it have been like if they had added Glenn Youngkin? All problems would have been solved if we had just added Glenn Youngkin.
Well, he could have took Trump's spot. There was an open seat or open place to stand, obviously.
It just, yeah, no, I got to bring this back up, folks. Because I think if this had been on
stage, we think about the fact that Vivek just said we were all good people, and I appreciate that, because last debate he said we were all bought and paid for, and I thought about that for a little while and said, I can't imagine how you can say that knowing that you were just in business with the Chinese Communist Party and the same people that funded Hunter Biden millions of dollars was a partner of yours as well. It's not nonsense.
So look, here's what I want to respond. These are good people who are tainted by a broken system, and it's not the fault of anybody who's involved. Some of us are tainted, but the bottom line is excuse me. Thank you for speaking while I'm interrupting while I'm speaking.
You said bought and paid for.
If I may finish.
You can't be on both sides.
Gentlemen, you'll have your turn.
One of the challenges.
add Glenn Youngkin to that and it gets better. What in the world?
I don't like politicians. There's no hiding that. But if I insult you, I'll look you dead in your eye. When you can't look a man in the eye and you're saying that kind of crap about him, You got no spine.
Oh, about the China connections? Yeah.
He can't even look him in the eye till he's 3/4 of the way through the statement. That tells me right there, for one, he knows he's lying, and for two, he has no spine. He's not a man.
Yeah, and again, the China knock on Vivek is just it's nonsense, as Vivek said.
But hey, most of America, let's face it, Joey, most of America, that's where they get their bumper sticker headlines from right there.
Now, if you had to, they're going to do this again probably next month. If you had to whittle it down, who would be your 3 people up there? Let's just do 3.
Man. Ramaswamy would definitely be one.
Ramaswamy. Probably DeSantis.
DeSantis, but I think it's a lost cause. And, oh, man. None of the above, honestly.
I kind of like Doug. I don't think Doug's going to be
I
president.
mean, if I need somebody to keep, the podium from floating away, we can get Doug to lead.
No, it would probably be those 3 in the middle: Ramaswamy, DeSantis, Haley. In terms of the polling.
Haley is, in terms of polling, but I don't believe these polls, Joe. You and I both know Haley. How many people do you know just going nuts over Haley? But they're putting her over.
No, there are a lot of women that like what she's throwing down. You tell that dumb Indian boy that, how dumb he is because he loves Putin and he wants China to have Taiwan. If you buy this, folks, okay. You're right. You can vote however you wish.
You're right.
But adding Glenn Youngkin to this mix, I don't see it. 272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by, Bath Innovations of Alabama. And they're at Bath Innovations of Alabama. Of course, Brad McDowell and his team are ready to help you, with any of your bathroom needs. It could be you want to do a full remodel.
That's a good idea.
You want it to be like snap your fingers, and this thing looks like a completely different room. And they've got brand new technology to help you out, whether you're thinking in terms of style or function. Maybe you're getting a little older and need safety features so you can bathe or shower in peace without any fear of, tipping over.
Falling, yeah.
Yeah, if you're not as surefoot as you used to be, they have those sorts of solutions there at Bath Innovations of Alabama. But it doesn't have to be a full remodel.
No, it doesn't have to.
Could be.
I got a chip sink,
Yeah.
or a chip tub.
Right.
Got that ugly ring around my tub that's been there since the 70s. I'm tired of looking at it.
Right.
I want to upgrade.
Maybe I just want a new shower head.
Oh, even better.
Like the waterfall one or the rain
So
shower
relaxing.
head. Oh, it's so good. But here's the deal, folks. We can't describe every product on Bath Innovations' website, but you should go to bathinnovations.com. Start to mix and match. You'll realize the possibilities are endless. Again, whatever your budget, they can help you out there. And so after you go to bathinnovations.com, find out what you want, stop by 2331 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery. Say hi to Brad McDowell and the team. Tell them what you want, and be sure to also tell them you heard about him here on News and Views in the afternoon. More news and views, after this. Hopefully Jeff Deist on the other side.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Actor Portrayal, based on a real patient experience.
I'm Mike. I'm a husband, proud father of 2, work my butt off 6 days a week, some nights too. When my family or my company needs me to make it happen, I make it happen. But a few months ago, I started having trouble making it happen, in the bedroom. I tried some pills online, but they didn't work. Honestly, I thought about throwing in the towel on my sex life, but I'm not that old. I still want to enjoy intimacy with my wife. Like that poet said, I don't want to just go gently into that good night. So I went to Montgomery Men's Health. Got some lab work done, was prescribed some meds, and wow, it made it happen. I can't say enough good about them. They took care of me, followed up, and made adjustments to make it happen even better. I even learned I had low testosterone, which they were also treating me for. And I have never felt better. If I were you and you're like me, I'd give them a call today at 334-440-3663 or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com. If you're like most guys, they'll make it happen for you too.
This is your roving reporter, and today I'm talking with a famous broadcaster.
Hey man, what's happening?
Now, I understand you radio people move a lot, is that correct?
Yeah, sometimes.
Well, how does this affect your taking care of your retirement money?
Oh man, I don't give that a second thought because my buddy David Ernest, he's my money man.
Your money man?
With the money plan.
I see.
So no matter where I go up and down the dial, David has my back, you know?
I'll bet you know some phone numbers our listeners could call to talk with David Ernest.
334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839.
And he has a website at retirewithernest.com.
Hey, you're on top of it today, man.
I also understand that you hold some sort of a record in broadcasting.
Yes. I was the first person to put together a show with myself, a duck, a chicken, and a goose. But it didn't last long. We got taken off the air.
Why were you taken off the air?
Too much foul language, man.
Oh, my.
So I wasn't crazy about that one myself.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. Alabama Wholesale Lumber, serving the river region with the best quality building materials for decades. Contractor to do-it-yourselfer. Call Alabama Wholesale Lumber.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. The rain prospects are not good, and the drought prospects continues to expand across the state. Today, fairly comfortable, a nice easterly breeze, and a high temperature up to about 84. Should be dry. Any sunshine, I think, will be limited. Partly cloudy tonight, overnight low 64. Then back to the upper 80s tomorrow, and then near 90 on Saturday and Sunday. Mostly sunny, tolerable humidity, fairly comfortable nights with temperatures in the mid-60s overnight. Still dry on Monday and Tuesday with highs in the upper 80s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
For the lowest prices around on flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies, Budget Floors and More is your new best friend. Luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey to Publix.
The River Region's first and only news talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader in the studio with me.
In the hacienda.
And on the phone, joining us now, Jeff Deist. He's the General Counsel for Monetary Metals, was the Chief of Staff for Ron Paul many moons ago, and somebody whose opinion I respect very much. Jeff, how you doing this afternoon?
Good afternoon, Joey. I'm doing great.
Well, I first got to start with the silly. Did you watch any of that dumpster fire last night?
No, I did not. I've seen the highlight reel on some media outlets this morning, but I did not subject myself to that. I was up late doing other things.
You made the right choice because we covered that a lot in the first hour, and it's miserable. I think my main takeaway, Eddie, was what Nikki Haley is a miserable liar.
Yes.
I mean, she's not the only one.
Not the only one.
Yeah, seeing the old school political tricks. I mean, do you think they're running out? This kind of traditional, the super PAC hits you see on these stations, like there was a big one of Republicans for Ukraine, Fox was playing during the debate. Do you think that still has that, say, fire hose ability to push a message? Or is now alternative independent media able to fight with that messaging?
Well, I'd like to see a comparison between the viewership ratings for these debates versus even 10 years ago, but certainly 20 years ago when that was the only game in town, cable news. Today, you have long-form podcasts. I think Vivek Ramaswamy has really gone out, along with RFK Jr. has really gone out and attempted to master that new medium. And I think both of them have probably leapfrogged somewhat amongst voters as a result of that. I do think we live in a world where social media can move the needle in the real world, in the non-virtual world, on things like polling. I think that's just the case. I also think that the debates have devolved. There's so little time for anyone to respond. People are allowed to shout over each other. Just the level of it, if you go back and watch for example, the 1980 Reagan-Carter debates. Now, obviously, that was in the general when the nominees had already been chosen. But nonetheless, I mean, the way that they speak in the long, complete sentences would just absolutely blow you away compared to what we're seeing today. And it just lends itself to this, I think, terrible thinking that there can't be any serious element to America. Everything has to be dumbed down. Everything has to be somewhat jokey almost.
Right.
That we can't aspire to sobriety or more serious things. And look, you know, Joe, you and I, we know each other. We're friends. We don't. Neither one of us is an arrogant or a pompous or a self-important person. We understand. You know, we try not to take each other seriously. But in public life, I think there still ought to be a space for that, and we shouldn't just devolve into hoodies and basketball shorts in the U.S. Senate, for example. There's only 100 U.S. senators in the world. They should probably be pretty accomplished, intelligent, insightful, thoughtful people. They shouldn't just be everyman. And this everyman quality that the candidates try to project in a populist atmosphere on stage last night is really, it's just such a joke. None of them are everyman. And I think Haley in particular, her is such a mediocrity that were she not a female, I don't think we would be talking about her at all. I think she would never have been an administration official. She probably never would have been governor. I mean, there's just nothing about her. I mean, Rick Scott were he not black, would he ever have been a U.S. senator? I mean, there's nothing that strikes me in his record, in his intellect, in his achievements that says otherwise. And that's not a pleasant or happy thing to contemplate. But I guess my takeaway is just the deep unseriousness of the whole thing and what that bodes for America. I do think we have serious problems, and we need more serious, capable people grappling with them than what we're seeing.
Well, you know, after the last general election debate, well, the one where Trump wouldn't shut up, there were rumors he had COVID. Everybody said it was the worst debate ever. I was like, yeah, that was pretty bad, but I went back and I started just to inform myself, watching like Jack Kennedy and Nixon debate and just going through the years. And to your point, you do see this sort of decline and de-evolution. You know, we were devolving. The one that gave me the creeps, and I wonder what you think about this, Jeff. The one debate, though, that really gave me the creeps was that first Bush and Gore debate. The image wasn't literal, but the image that came to my mind was like two little kids in their daddy's closet putting on their daddy's suit and shoes and trying to act big. But it was the production. It almost had this golden sheen over it. And knowing what would then happen in the 21st century after that debate, there's something about it that just hit me right in the heart. But where do you think this started to really go off the rails?
Well, who would have thought back in 2000 that George W. Bush, of all people, would look relatively well-spoken just 23 years later? Because if you're old enough to recall, the left very much thought he was a bumbling idiot who was wildly out of his league and had only reached the level of governor of Texas and then candidate for president because of his family fortunes and money and influence and all that. And that was probably true. But nonetheless, 2000 was a different time. We hadn't had the events of September 11th, which really set this country onto a path of not only intelligence and spying at home, things like the Patriot Act, but also a really, I think, damaging foreign policy of going into Afghanistan and Iraq, spending trillions of dollars. And that really is what started getting all the debt we're facing today, that big debt ball rolling. And let's also not forget that under George W. Bush's term, we got the Medicare Part D prescription drug benefit, which was passed by Republicans to help W beat John Kerry in 2004. And that has added and will continue to add trillions of dollars of debt to the U.S. Government's balance sheet. So the 2000 to 2008 was really a pretty transformative time for this country. And then, you had the global financial crisis, which really unleashed the Fed to be what it is today, which is basically making a monetary policy on steroids. So I think when we go back in history, George Bush may have been a bit of a bumbling guy who just happened to be there, but nonetheless, those 8 years were transformative and not for the better, in my view.
Yeah, exactly right. And yeah, Bush can be charming, but there's just something about the presentation. Hubris is the word that came to my mind. America that didn't know what was coming. But I found that where I was most frustrated, and I'm constantly this way with these debates, is right now within the Republican Party, the biggest divide between, say, establishment and populace is really over foreign policy. And when you've got 2 hours to debate, you would think you could actually, have at least 30 minutes of robust discussion. And instead, that one issue is the one where it mostly devolves into childhood insults and yelling and screaming. But I am heartened in the sense that today, 1819 News is reporting Coach Tuberville is calling for an end to the Ukrainian war negotiations. No more money. So you're seeing more and more big names back this idea that we're doing too much around the world. Is this just Fox framing the debate in a particular way, or should I actually hold on to this hope when I see folks like Coach Tuberville going, yeah, I'm in the camp of J.D. Vance, I'm in the camp of Rand Paul and Mike Lee and all these types?
Well, I think first and foremost, almost everybody on that stage last evening is in general broad agreement about U.S. foreign policy. Vivek might be the one exception to that. So that's disheartening.
Right.
Because this goes farther than just whether Iraq is a good idea. And in my opinion, it's a very bad idea because we are basically using the poor Ukrainians to fight a proxy war where they've already lost a couple 100,000 people. The total U.S. deaths in World War II were about 400,000. The Ukrainians are going to approach that soon. And that's a much smaller country, and this is a much more limited war. So let's not forget that. They've lost well over 200,000 humans. So that we can fight a proxy war, in effect, both not only against the Russians, but with a wink and a nod, also against the Chinese. That we don't want Russia to expand so that Russia and China become sort of have dominion over that eastern part of the world. So there's two things going on here with this neoconservative foreign policy. So the idea that all these geopolitical questions about whether us goading the Ukrainians into an endless proxy war and paying for it, by the way, is a good idea. That's one question. But the bigger question is, what's our role in the world? And that's a question where I don't think we can ever agree. There's a significant portion of the U.S. public, neoconservatives and increasingly progressives, who think it's the job of the U.S. government to basically impose some sort of Western social democracy everywhere in the world and to fight every war on behalf of the so-called good guys, which is often murky. And I don't know how we can reconcile a worldview with people who think that. I just don't think that. I think it's conceptually and in terms of principle, it's wrong, but it's also unsustainable in terms of spending and debt. We just don't have the money. Our economy isn't that productive. We can't go putting permanent aircraft carrier fleets in the South China Sea to make sure China doesn't mess with Taiwan, which would in fact, of course, increase the likelihood that China messed with Taiwan, because we would be goading them, in effect. It would be like the Chinese putting a carrier group in the Gulf of Mexico. Right. We probably wouldn't like that. So these when we get back to the seriousness and the clownishness of all this, these bigger picture questions are not only not answered, they're not really asked.
And we're running out of time here, but what you just said reminded me of something I've heard Colonel Douglas McGregor say in many different forums, that he doesn't think this is going to be solved. We're not going to have a come to Jesus moment, so to speak, on our own terms, like everybody votes for the right person. He thinks what's going to be required is a great calamity. What's your sense of that? I know I ask these sorts of questions a lot, but it's good to just continually take people's temperature on the long-term trend. So when you see this system, what do you think about it?
Well, the calamity for Ukrainian is having their son, maybe even their daughter, killed in this war. Yeah. So for us, the calamity at present is more on the economic end. And you look at that $33 trillion worth of debt, that we have, and most of that was amassed in the past 15-ish years, where interest rates were pretty low, and so it wasn't so bad to pay the interest every year on that. But with interest rates rising up above 5%, pretty soon that 33 trillion becomes 35, 40, 45, and the interest that Congress has to pay every year on that isn't 1.5%, it's 5.5%. We are all going to be facing, I think, a much rougher economy.
And affects everybody. You got to love Alabama's prison. The new prison here in Elmore County was projected to be $600 million when they first went into the bond market. They're now expecting a little over $1 billion just for the one prison. So they wanted to build two with $1.3 billion. It affects everything. Big projects, the grocery store shopping list, and we'll see where it goes. But I don't get a lot of hope from that debate last night.
$1.3 billion. We ought to be getting Dallas Cowboys Stadium.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, welcome to Alabama politics, folks. It's just absurd. Absolutely absurd. Well, I always appreciate your time, Jeff. If folks want to check out what you're thinking about, what you're writing about, what you're up to in general, how can they do so?
Well, they can follow me on Twitter, Jeff Deist, all one word, JEFFDEIST.
Well, as always, appreciate it. We'll talk again soon.
Thanks, guys.
See you, Jeff.
Jeff Deist there, folks. Again, follow him on Twitter X. Appreciate his time as always. Really do respect that fella's opinion. He's seen a lot. He's actually worked in the halls of Congress. I think that is one of the most unique chief of staff jobs, working for Dr. Ron Paul, because you're not playing the normal political game when you take that job.
Right.
It's
you know your mission.
Their goal was education, and they're trying to change the frame and ideas up in D.C., and we're successful to a large degree, not as successful as I think all of us would have hoped to love those ideals. But here we got to hit another break. But first, this part of the program brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And they're at Alabama Home Mortgage. Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon, well, they can help you with a refinance deal.
They can.
That's all the rage these days. Because a lot of folks are sitting under mountains of credit card debt.
Yep, they're getting notices every day from their credit card company that says, hey, we're going to increase your interest rate a little bit.
Wow.
Yeah. Remember, you're on a flexible. You're not on a fixed.
And, okay, you might be like, well, mortgages, that rate's going up. It is.
Sure is, but it ain't no double digits.
Right. It's not 20%, 25%. I saw one. I got an offer. I opened it up. I usually just throw these things away. 29.99% APR.
For every dollar, Joey, we'll get 30 cents charged to you.
Whew.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're stuck in a situation like that, I know it probably is miserable. It's probably a little embarrassing. You don't want to be there. There's a solution.
There's an easy way out.
Why not? Again, call up Kim and Madeline. They're at Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. That's 567-4223. You can always apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com, whether it's a refi, whether you're buying a home. Maybe you're a veteran and you want to take advantage of the VA home loan programs. They're VA certified there at Alabama Home Mortgage. Here, at the end of the day, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies, like Kim and Madeline proved that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender. Very quick break here. All right. We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Live, local talk. The River Region's most trusted voice for news and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. 272-9228 if you want to hop in on the program. Final hour coming up here. And again, if you are interested, tonight there is going to be a visitation service for Jack Campbell. And the funeral is tomorrow at 2 at St. Peter's Catholic Church. Again, that's tomorrow, 2 in the afternoon at St. Peter's Catholic Church, 219 Adams Avenue here in Montgomery. Tonight there is a visitation, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Leak Memory Chapel on Lincoln Road here in Montgomery. If you want to commemorate, celebrate the life, just get together with friends and folks maybe you hadn't talked to in a while, or Jack Campbell as we knew him, John Martin Campbell. December 12th, 1955 to September 24th, 2023. Rest in peace, Jack. 272-9228. Before the break here, let's hit Red Top. Hey, Red Top.
Well, God bless his soul. He's such a kind fella, and we're all going to miss him so much. And
Yes,
I know he was a December birthday, too.
Right.
Bunch of Sagittarians around here.
I know.
Let's talk quickly about Clearview, the facial recognition software.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if anybody was aware that all of Europe, if you find out you're on Clearview, you have the right to have all your face erased from the database. But in only 3 states in the United States, New York, California, and I'm sorry I don't remember the third one, I think it's Illinois, are the only states that you have the right to do that. And you would think that Alabama, being as conservative as it was, we would have somebody even bringing it up, but I have a feeling they're using the hell out of that stuff in the state of Alabama. We know law enforcement's been using it for a long time. But it's dangerous stuff. And do you know how many faces they have recognized in Clearview now, Joey?
How many?
20 billion. And the fact is, there's only 7.4 billion people on the world in the world. That goes to show you how many times they have the same people's faces.
Yep.
And they're using this to arrest people. And they're having lots of mistakes with black guys being misrecognized. One guy got pulled over in Georgia for a crime in Louisiana. He had never even been to Louisiana. It took him 2 weeks in jail and lawyers in 2 states to free himself. Cost of about $10,000 because that artificial intelligence didn't recognize him. So, and to tell you the truth, most of the people they arrested on January 6th, they got from that software because these dum-dums took their own pictures. Golly Moses. Glad I missed it. I know you are too. So I'm going to talk to Reed Ingram and our state representatives about getting us to have the right in Alabama. All they have to do is pass a law.
Clearview is the name of the program.
Clearview, excuse me, sir.
Clearview.
All right.
And it's so widespread, nobody wants to talk about it. It's extremely dangerous.
Appreciate the call, Red Top.
Y'all
Appreciate
have a great time this evening, guys, celebrating Jack. I'll be praying for him. And roll tide, go Trump. Thank you.
See you, Red Top.
272-9228. Final hour of News and Views in the afternoon.
Coming up
after this.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Jason Weichert. Congress at a crossroads just days before a possible federal shutdown. It would halt paychecks for millions of federal workers and close down a number of federal offices. House Republicans have opened the first hearing of the Biden impeachment inquiry against the president. They've heard testimony today from a number of outside experts. Video showing the American soldier who spirited across the border into North Korea 2 months ago. Apparently now he's back on U.S. soil. Officials say Private Travis King's return was organized with help from both Sweden and China. A Virginia jury has begun deliberations in the trial of a DoorDash driver who's charged with shooting a YouTube prankster. This is SRN News.
Donald Trump's indictment proves that saving America is not going to be easy. There are entrenched powers that are fighting this with everything they've got. They want to keep control over the country, the narrative, and the nation's money supply. Hi, I'm Lance Wallnau. I'm a news analyst, a Christian author, an evangelical leader. I speak to millions of people every week, people just like you. You see, what the elites are doing is using inflation and government handouts and now central bank digital currencies to determine how they're going to control America. And that's why I recommend all Christians start a gold IRA from the Birch Gold Group. Because physical precious metals are one of the few ways you can maintain control over your own savings. To get a free info kit on gold IRAs, text the word faith to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and you'll see why a gold IRA can help you. There are no strings attached. Text the word faith to 989898 and you're going to be blessed by taking action right now.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. Alabama Wholesale Lumber, the best quality building materials in the river region for decades. From common builds to special orders and local delivery. Call Alabama Wholesale Lumber.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. The rain prospects are not good, and the drought prospects continues to expand across the state. Today, fairly comfortable, a nice easterly breeze, and a high temperature up to about 84. Should be dry. Any sunshine, I think, will be limited. Partly cloudy tonight, overnight low 64. Then back to the upper 80s tomorrow, and then near 90 on Saturday and Sunday. Mostly sunny, tolerable humidity, fairly comfortable nights with temperatures in the mid-60s overnight. Still dry on Monday and Tuesday with highs in the upper 80s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
ASE Credit Union makes auto loans easy with rates as low as 4.75% APR. Apply online or visit your local branch today. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
ASE Credit Union. Your life, your goals, your ASE.
1819 News.
The U.S. Department of Justice has issued indictments this week against a state lawmaker in Jefferson County. State Representative John Rogers is now charged on 2 counts of obstructing justice, one by way of bribery. These charges against Rogers are related to a case against another state lawmaker, Fred Plump Jr., who earlier this year resigned from his seat due to charges of fraud that he is now facing. The issue with both state lawmakers is the handling of money from the Jefferson County Community Service Fund. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Covenant Rescue Group seeks to directly support organizations and agencies that are fighting the global battle against human trafficking. They do this through funding, procuring, and advocating. You can go to covenantrescue.org for further details. They need your donations, guys. Hop on and donate.
The state of Alabama is joining in on a lawsuit that was filed by the Alabama Department of Environmental Management and involves the city of Tuscaloosa. The lawsuit is regarding the dumping of sewage in local waterways. The lawsuit claims that the practice violates wastewater permits. The Black Warrior River Keepers is a nonprofit group that first provided the documents that show a total of 40 million gallons of sewage dumped into those rivers and creeks in the Tuscaloosa area. A Montgomery man pleads guilty to financial crimes according to the Alabama Securities Commission. 35-year-old Nicholas Houston was charged with exploiting elderly persons, security frauds, and theft of property. Allen was able to get money to flip houses or invest, but instead used the money for his personal expenses. 2 victims who were over the age of 80 lost $236,000. A judge will sentence Houston at a later time. A burn ban has been issued within St. Clair County by the Moody Fire Inspector, Lieutenant James Mulkey. The state of Alabama is under a statewide fire alert and drought. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole. Do you have a cell phone or tablet that isn't charging, dying fast, or maybe the screen is damaged? Don't get suckered into buying a new one. XI Repair can fix your current device same day and in under 30 minutes. Their certified technicians fix and recover data from thousands of cell phones, computers, tablets, game consoles, and drones 7 days a week. Give them a call today at 334-777-1234 or visit them online at xirepair.com.
Kickback Ranch and Event Center wants you to join us October the 28th from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. for our annual Frontier Days and Fall Festival. Enjoy live foraging demonstrations and the way life used to be. Face painting, small animals, games, bounce houses, water activities for the kids. Vendors, food trucks, boot walk for cancer, give blood with Life South, and enjoy live music featuring bluegrass with the Southern Gentlemen. The Kickback Ranch annual Frontier Days, October the 28th from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Admission is $5. Call 286-4140 or go to kickbackranch.net. Be there.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Howdy. Now, we got a college football Saturday coming up.
Oh, yeah?
And who does Alabama have? Here, we got a schedule here. We got one right here, too. So the 30th is what's coming up. Alabama has Mississippi State.
Yeah.
And who does Auburn have?
Auburn has good old number 1, Georgia.
Crap, they're number 1?
Yeah. Well, if they will be number 1 by the end of the year.
Yeah, but here's what I'm counting on.
All right, what you counting on?
I think it's at Auburn. It's in Jordan-Hare Stadium.
Okay.
Or Jordan-Hare, or whatever.
I mean, those make for good games. Remember years, I think in the mid-'90s, the UGA made the lunge towards one of our wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we got some good games.
Was it Frank Sanders who was the I think
yes.
it was Frank Sanders.
And then
yeah.
the girls getting stuck in the hedges at one point.
Right. But no, how about the Alabama's loss? You got 1 second, Nick? Remember the crazy end of that Georgia-Auburn game in Jordan-Hare?
Oh, yes.
Jordan-Hare has this weird, even when Auburn's not good in a given year, Jordan-Hare has this weird atmosphere to it where anything can happen. Now, we'll probably lose, but I'm definitely going to be watching, and if there's any hope, well, what we're going to need is a lot of turnovers by Georgia. We're going to need a lot of penalties. Auburn's going to need everything they can get.
We just got to keep the ball. Here's the secret. We can't let them score.
272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by Bo Goodson and the Goodson Group. And Bo has a truly unique understanding of the River Region real estate market. He should. He's been working here for almost, I think now over 40 plus years, 4 decades of experience here in the River Region real estate market. And so when, you're working with Bo Goodson, not only can they help you buy a home there at the Goodson Group or sell your home, they also have management services available should you want to rent out your property. And it's a really great service. A rental investment's a wonderful idea in this market with all the turnover with the military bases, but it can be a pain in the butt to manage that yourself. Why not, for a reasonable fee, have the Goodson Group do it for you? And then the true crown jewel there at the Goodson Group is the Bo Goodson Real Estate School, one of the most highly acclaimed programs here in the state of Alabama because of, Bo's experience. And it's a very interactive course. He's not going to let you just sit there. He gets you involved. He's giving you lessons from real-life scenarios, the good, the bad, and the ugly. He's seen it all over 40 years. And then the proof is when folks graduate from the Bo Goodson Real Estate School, whether it's licensed realtors, fully licensed realtors, or just more knowledgeable private players, a lot of people have found success in the River Region real estate market and beyond. So check out the Goodson Group today. You can always go to thegoodsongroup.com or give them a call at 551-0225. That's 551-0225. Bo Goodson and the Goodson Group, great sponsor here of News and Views in the afternoon. Who do we got here?
We got Clint. Remember our buddy Clint?
Hey, Clint. It's been a while.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Yeah, good. Got a phone call yesterday from a friend in Wetumpka about Jack.
Yeah.
So, I just want to call in and give him my condolences to the family.
Thank you, Clint.
Thank you, Clint.
So, hated to hear that, but Don't know how, don't know what happened, don't know how you died, but it doesn't matter. He's gone. So. But he was a good man. I enjoyed talking with the man. I know he had a lot of friends there.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
I appreciate you taking time to just call up and say that, Clint. Thank you.
All right, guys. Have a good day.
You too, brother man.
272-9228. I think Auburn's got it.
You think so?
Yeah.
Whoo, Joey.
Well,
You make a bet?
no, I don't want to make it bad. But you said that anyway to sneak one of those goats off that island, sacrifice it to the gods or something on Auburn's behalf.
We don't do that on Lake Jordan. You got to go to Lake Martin.
God, y'all are a Christian lake.
Right.
You don't have to do that.
You got to go to Lake Martin for that kind of action.
Oh, really? Yeah. I've heard they've got like this big owl statue that they set on fire. It's like Bohemian Grove of the South.
I've heard some very similar
really?
stories, Joey. Yeah.
I'm just making this up. Have you actually heard
I've
stories?
Heard very similar stories of some
like weird stuff?
Yeah, unique parties that go on to the Lake
Well, because Lake Martin, Mr. Real Estate Agent, has become like the go-to place, not just for local folks, but it is a destination.
It's a destination. You get a lot of people from Georgia, and that started probably in the early 90s. They kind of discovered Lake Martin, and money started pouring in.
Yeah, Lake Martin and the Gulf Coast. Like, I know there are a lot of rich and famous folks that have places there at the lake and on the coast. Beautiful.
There's some beautiful places on Lake Martin.
But whenever you get... I'm sorry.
Well, the girl from Friends, I can't think of her name. Darn it. That was...
What does she look like?
I think black hair girl. Pretty girl.
Oh, Courtney Cox.
Thank you. She's got a place on Martin. Beautiful place.
Okay.
Beautiful place. I don't know if I've ever seen her there, but I understand their July 4th parties are off the chain.
Well, I was about to say, whenever you get really rich and famous people all together...
Yeah.
It's not always. Some of them are wholesome. But there's some weird stuff that happens.
There is. It's a good place to be a fly on the wall, Joey.
Have you ever been invited to one of these things? You ever sneak in like Alex Jones to one of these?
Disinvited to a few.
I think that's what you need to do. You need to go all Alex Jones sneaking into Bohemian Grove, and you need to find what's going on at Lake Martin secret societies.
I could do that. I've got a few inside. Few inside tracks. I'll take.
We maybe should have had this conversation off air. Now there's no element of surprise, but
it's me.
Right.
That'd be fine.
So we'll look into that. Now, there's this one speech that caught my eye. It is not an American. It's actually a German politician. Are we German?
Apparently, we're very German.
Very German. But this is the type of German politician I can get behind. Her name is Christine Anderson. The speech is in English. Thank God for that. Yeah, German's is that one of those languages that could ever be like, pleasant on the ear?
No, I've never had someone talk in German to me where it sounds romantic or even nice. It's always like they're yelling at me.
Right, but actually, it brings up sidebar. Memory, we had an assistant coach, Catholic, of football, 1 year in football.
Uh-huh.
And I think he was like secondary wide receivers coach. And he was Japanese. He could speak Japanese, I believe.
Oh.
And he actually would start shouting things as commands, like as part of drills. It was fun. But one of the guys on the team said, there's no way you could get a girl or be romantic or sultry with that language.
Sure.
He leaned up next to the kid and in Japanese just started speaking like Brett. And the kid's like, get away from me, coach! Get away from me! Because I'm like,
it's working on me.
That gum, that works. I'm like, I need to learn a foreign language. But anyway, this is a German politician named Christine Anderson. And she's, laying out a warning that many others have been putting out there. But this is from the European Parliament. In front of God and everybody.
I love that power blazer she's got on.
What color is that?
It's a pink, but it's not. It's a power pink, Joey. I don't know how that plays, man.
Folks, if you want to see this, just go to Joey Clark Live on YouTube. It's power, all right.
Power.
But here, let's listen in. She's going to lay out, how the COVID-19 pandemic was a test run.
COVID madness, this so-called pandemic, it was just a test balloon, a gigantic test balloon. Well, for what, you ask?
You had to say balloon, 99 left balloon? You had to say balloon?
Well, to see how far they could go, to see what exactly they would have to do to get free individuals in a free and democratic society to consent to being forced into compliance. That's what they were trying to establish. That's what they were trying to figure out. And they have figured it out. Trust me. They are much smarter now. The goal ultimately is to transform our free and democratic societies, into totalitarian societies. Their goal is to strip each and every one of us of our fundamental rights of freedom, democracy, the rule of law. They want to get rid of all of this. This whole COVID thing had never anything to do with public health. It never had anything to do with breaking waves. It always had to do with breaking people in order to make us a part of a mindless, malleable mass, which they can totally control, and we will be completely dependent upon this globalitarian elite. So I'm really imploring the people and all the peoples around the world.
All the peoples.
For God's sake, stop giving your democratically elected governments the benefit of the doubt. They are not deserving of that. They are not. Stop rationalizing whatever your government is doing. Stop rationalizing and come up with some good intentions. They have no good intentions. Never. As I said before, in the entire history of mankind, there has never been a political elite concerned about the well-being of regular people. And it isn't any different now. Why should it? Stop giving them the benefit of the doubt.
Hear, hear.
Because I can tell you, you cannot comply your way out of a tyranny.
Yep.
It is impossible. Trying to do so, you will only feed a gigantic alligator in the hopes of being eaten last. But guess what? Your turn will come, and then you will be the one swallowed up. I also have to ask the people, end your silence. Speak up. For God's sake, stop complying. Start rebelling. They're out to get you if you do not resist.
Wow.
I like what she's putting down. And she's not the first person I've heard say that. That's kind of a growing message right now.
Again, that's a German politician. And you got to wonder, there could be some big changes in the West. Now, some of that's still, you know how I don't really buy into the left-wing stuff.
Right.
But right-wing collectivism and right-wing authoritarianism is a thing, especially in Europe. And so I worry, and this is what the elites, the liberals today are worried about, is that if they lose their control and their power, we might not be that great, but if we get overthrown, it'll be Nazis all the way down. And I suppose, I don't agree with that. I think you could have an alternative from what we currently have and not go Nazi or fascist or anything.
It just seems to be that's the way we're going, though.
Right. You could go down to maybe a sized-down government that's more faithful to the Constitution.
I love that.
As opposed to all this lip service. As she just said in that clip, stop falling for you're democratically elected.
Good point.
And when they all say, constitutional. The only guy on that stage last night that could actually cite the Constitution was Vivek. Well, thank you, Yale Law School.
Yeah.
But
that would be a good question on the debate stage. Could you give me X amendment?
Right.
Just lay it out there.
yeah, and your different theories of it or something. But that people don't want to see a nerd fest. But this is the deal. We were a nation of law nerds.
Right.
Those are the folks who founded this country. Go read Adams in particular, or James Madison. They were law nerds. Jefferson too. Jefferson was a little crazy and depressive and liked the French Revolution and all that stuff.
I know a guy like that.
Yeah, no, I am a Jeffersonian. But yeah, we don't need to fall for this. And so I think it's up in the air. In particular, this war in Ukraine is waking up a lot of people in Europe, whether it's Germany or France. We're in your underpants. 272-9228.
Very proud of you for putting that one out there. I didn't have to.
This part of the program brought to you by Dylan Rings. Aren't they fantastic over there,
Absolutely
Eddie?
fantastic. Guess
And
what I still got on?
Your
Band
friendship
Aid.
bracelet?
Yeah.
I still got it on my nightstand. I move it every morning.
Our friendship is at your nightstand.
Anyway, you were describing earlier, if you want custom design done, folks,
Yeah.
Josh Ryder is the man to go see there at 119 Brown Springs Road. Because when you work with Josh, it could be, hey, I've already got, say, a wedding band, and maybe I want to put some stones in it, or just want to update it in some way.
Right.
Or it could be you literally had a dream, and you thought of this design. Go describe it to Josh.
I think of like Sky. You know, Sky's got that custom-made ring that he had made by them. And again, this is long before the advertising ever started. The guy's got talent. Take advantage of it.
Right.
Especially if you're thinking about getting married. Why would I go to some run-of-the-mill type shop? This is supposed to be I'm supposed to make this the most important day in my bride's life. Why would I not go see a jewelry store such as them?
And so that you can see that digital rendering, whatever it is, poignant, more family heirloom. Could be it's a funky fresh medallion. You're just trying to have some fun going out on the town.
Right.
And then look at this, Eddie. Posted to Dylan Ring's Book of Faces page yesterday. Available in white or yellow gold. This is a perfect size diamond cross.
I saw that last night. Beautiful.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Okay, it's regularly priced at $950. Yep. It's on sale until this Saturday for the birthday boy sale.
Okay.
For $700.
Ooh, that's good.
But hurry, there are only 2 left in stock, folks.
Nice.
Only
nice
2. These, I'm looking at it now. It is absolutely gorgeous. And this is what I've come to expect there at Dylan Rings. So again, check them out today. You can always go to DylanRings.com or just stop by 119 Brown Springs Road here in Montgomery, just off of Atlanta Highway. The way I remember it, folks, it's right next to that old platform where Fun Zone used to be.
Mm-hmm.
I miss working there some days. This job's better. But y'all be sure to tell Josh and Leslie Ryder that Joey and Eddie from News and Views in the Afternoon sent you. More News and Views after this break.
Joey Clark.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Picture this. A serene, tranquil resting place surrounded by nature's beauty. A place where memories are cherished and loved ones are forever remembered. We're talking about your final resting place, and it's never too early to start planning for it. Pineview Memorial Gardens in Wetumpka has been family owned and operated for over 55 years. We understand the importance of pre-need planning. You can make decisions that reflect your personal wishes. You can choose the perfect location, whether it's a serene garden, a peaceful mausoleum, or a place in our cremation wall. Pre-need planning alleviates the burden from your loved ones during a time of grief. By planning ahead, you can secure today's prices, protecting yourself and your family from future cost increases. So why wait? Contact Pineview Memorial Gardens in Wetumpka today. Your final resting place should be a reflection of your unique journey. Take control of your future and make pre-need planning a priority. Pineview Memorial Gardens in Wetumpka, where memories live on.
It's fall, y'all, at Mama's Produce, and boy, do we have what you need. We have mums of every color. Corn stalks will be in soon, pumpkins. We have fall flowers and fall vegetables. And don't forget to check out our Facebook page, Mama's Produce. We post what we have as soon as it comes in so that you're right there. Check out our gift ideas as well.
Y'all come on down to Mama's, right next to Prattville Farm Center, 1154 South Memorial Drive. Everybody loves Mama's.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
The River Region's News Talk station. News Talk 93.1, WACV. News Talk 93.1.
Welcome back to News and Views in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader in the house.
How you doing?
I'm all right.
See some of those comments from Eric?
Well, first, let's go backwards. Mark Cumby says, nice shirt, Eddie.
You like that, don't you? I've already had several pairs of kitties sent to me. So
Your
it's
shirt
working.
literally says, show me your kitties.
Yeah, and it's working. I've had several kitties
I'm not
sent to me.
joking. When you know how I can get it all Mr. Apocalyptic?
Yes.
Like bring on the asteroid?
Yes.
So to speak. I would be like Steve Buscemi riding the nuclear bomb at the end of Armageddon, which is a crap movie, but it's also a great movie.
It's got some great parts in that movie, just the clips.
Right. It was on one of the channel. I watched like 20 minutes of it.
Yep.
Because it's nostalgic. It's like this was one of the first big blockbusters. So anyway, you know how I get in those moods.
Yeah.
I literally survive by swiping and go, oh, it's a cat. It's a cat video or a dog video. The animal videos are what help you save the day. But T-Spear says called Hoot Pink can also be used as a high visibility vest.
It could be.
Referring to that, I thought it was magenta.
No, magenta. That's an air traffic controller color. Actually, I learned that in my drone school.
T-Spear goes on to comment, I hope she has good protection. Those who hate freedom will go after her. Yeah, sadly.
Sadly, but true.
That's the nature of things. And you're saying Eric?
Yeah, he's kind of calling it the prayer in Jordan Hare, us playing the dogs.
Oh,
You know, he's one
wow.
of them dare dog fans.
Oh, I forgot he was a Georgia guy.
Yeah, kind of unfortunate, but.
The prayer in Jordan Hare. Nah, Auburn's going to win. I just got a feeling.
If Auburn wins, I will take you to Auburn, and we'll go to Mike's Steakhouse. I think they're in Auburn, and we will eat the world's biggest steak we can.
Sure.
I'm down.
If Auburn wins tomorrow,
Yeah.
we're going to go eat a big steak dinner in Auburn.
Yeah.
And what if they lose?
No. You know us.
I can cook steak. I can buy the steak and cook it in my house.
Yeah. Or I mean, it's, for us, we're Auburn fans.
We can watch
It's just
Armageddon together.
It's another Saturday.
Ah, goodness, yeah. Again, Auburn playing #1 Georgia. I'm not. It was funny how Hugh Freeze, even before the game last week, was like, "We're not there yet."
No, but at least he's honest.
Yeah,
about that.
Yeah, we're just not there yet whatsoever.
But same with Alabama. How many Alabama fans? And I do like to bash on them. How many Alabama fans got a real rude awakening? They thought, this is going to be another year of us just pounding and coming, leading the SEC. They got some struggle bus action going on too.
Right. Now, a story we touched on in passing yesterday, but here's a little more detail.
Okay.
About the whole valuation of Trump's properties, in this case, in New York State.
I'd buy it for $18 million.
In just one of countless absurd rulings against Donald Trump, this judge, Arthur Engoron, recently ruled that Trump has misrepresented the value of Mar-a-Lago to lenders as being between $426 million and $612 million, claiming that it was only worth between $18 and $27 million. The judge claimed that. As a result of this dubious ruling, this judge ruled that some of Trump's business licenses in New York should be rescinded. While it's only marginally less absurd than valuating Mar-a-Lago at $27.6 million, the $18 million figure has been making headlines as seemingly everyone can immediately tell how ridiculous it is.
Right.
For starters, Trump purchased Mar-a-Lago in 1985 when it had a listing price of $20 million, and that $20 million in 1986 dollars. Wow. Even if the price of Mar-a-Lago only increased with inflation, it would be worth roughly $58 million today. In other words, this judge in this case, his ruling implies that Mar-a-Lago lost 65% of its value over the same time period when real estate prices increased nearly fivefold.
Thank you. And this is Florida. Florida right now is still one of the hottest markets there is. So you're telling me that he has lost value since he's bought that place?
Give me a break.
Thank you.
Though she, too, has no idea what she's talking about, even corrupt New York AG Letitia James, who campaigned on prosecuting Trump, claimed Mar-a-Lago was worth at least $75 million.
At least.
When she alleged that Trump overvalued it. Furthermore, unlike other properties, Mar-a-Lago's value is derived not just from the physical property itself, but the income it generates as a business. While recent data is unavailable, it brought in $25.1 million in 2017, $22 million in 2018, and $21.4 million in 2019. Now, I'm not some, venture capitalist, or I don't even have an MBA. I'm not some businessman.
Okay.
But, I know a little, Eddie.
Yeah.
So if I'm thinking about, getting in the game, I'm going to buy up a business that's a performing asset.
Okay.
Part of that valuation, is it not, is what's the revenue of your business?
That's one of the ways to evaluate a property, yes.
That's
one of
one
the ways.
And it's one you should probably factor in.
In that particular case, it would be a very good way to evaluate that property.
Wow. Past estimates of Mar-a-Lago's value have ranged, but even the lowest were at least 15 times higher than what the judge in this case claimed. Forbes magazine pegged its value at $350 million in 2022, which they described as a conservative estimate, while more aggressive estimates went as high as $725 million.
Joey,
which means Trump was valuing it at about the...
First off, just by being a Trump property, okay, that name tied to it. That's, I'm sorry, people are going to like hearing, but that's adding value there. It's a nostalgic place. Plus, it's an event center. You
Right.
can do all these things through there. How is some jackass judge in New York going to be able to tell the value of that? Well, the easier way would be get a realtor, get an appraisal involved. But they're not going to do that because that's legit. He or she's just going to come up with an idea in her head, and that's what we're going to roll with. And we as U.S. citizens are just supposed to accept that.
Well, and also at the end of the day, isn't value
whatever the
subjective?
market will bear?
Yeah.
If I got this water right here, all right, this is $2 water. But if you're thirsty,
I'll
and this is the only water I got,
I'll pay $20
got-
for it. I'll pay $50
exactly.
for
It's
it.
what the market will bear.
Right. It's,
It's not that hard, folks.
And it's an ordinal rank order of things. It's not like, for how many udals will you go for this?
Right.
No, it is like, well, I value water over other things.
Exactly right.
But if you give me too much water, what am I going to do with all that water?
Right. Suddenly
Right.
they devalue.
Right. Hey, Eddie, do you want to come from my house and eat all the ice cream you want all weekend? Because it's your birthday weekend, right?
What flavor?
But you got to eat all of it.
What flavor?
Whatever flavor floats your boat, big guy.
What's all of it, though?
It's a barrel full. You're going to have to eat a barrel full in a weekend. See, that you might be like, actually, this is now costing me
Right.
something.
I'm not going to be able to do that, Joey.
Right. Yeah. Too much of something.
Yeah.
But so, especially something like real estate, where you have prestige questions, you have these revenue questions from all the estate,
I would buy,
the
would you
resort
buy it for
activity.
$17 million? I would buy it.
For $17 million, if I had $17 million,
Right.
yeah.
That's
I
what
would make
kills
back
me.
my money
Not
halfway through
weekend.
the year.
We'll have a golf tournament this weekend,
Yeah.
and guess what? It's paid off.
And we're going to preserve parts of it as a museum. It's like, look, I'm your tour guide, Donald Trump, and this is where the FBI rummaged through Melania's underwear.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Suddenly we're getting $20, $25 a head just to come in and check it out.
I see London, I see France, I see Christopher Ray in Melania's underpants, all right?
That would sell. I think you can make a killing on that.
I'd put that on a T-shirt.
Let's go to the phone. See if this is on line one. You're on there. Who's this?
This is I.
Who?
This is I.
Hey, what's up?
Birthday boy. When your birthday boy?
It'd be today. And I lost a whole year. I
What's
thought I was
going on,
turning
birthday
53.
boy? This is Duke, Brother Ro. How you doing, Brother Ro?
I knew it was you 5 minutes before you even called.
I knew
How you
I
doing,
knew
buddy?
It. How's it going, Brother Ro?
I lost a whole year. I thought I was turning 53 this year. Turning to 54. I lost a whole year.
You've been somewhere Jordan haven't been before. You've been 52, 53.
I've been to a few places, Joey, you've never been before.
Yeah.
But we're going to take him.
Well, I'm not a virgin.
That's not the places.
That's where you
What'd you
usually
say,
go.
Joey? What,
Huh?
what, Joey?
What? How's your day? Did you watch that debate last night?
Oh, yes.
You know you lying. You did not watch that.
I watched. I did. I watched every bit of it because ain't no comedy shows going on the TV right now. All the actors on strike and everything right now. I need some kind of comedy to do, man. Come on, help me out.
I mean, did you like Christie's Donald Duck line?
He didn't do it just right, though.
I know he didn't do it right.
I know he didn't. And people, those conservatives, they slow in on how they don't catch on.
Oh, hey.
Thank you, bro.
That's
They
just
don't catch
mean.
on, though.
That's just
But,
rude.
you know, but man, that was a mess, though. I ain't never seen nothing like it.
I know.
I thought old girl gonna bitch slap old boy 1 minute, you know.
She got kind of excited.
No,
Yeah,
you can
she-
say a
you
lot
know-
of things about Vivek Ramaswamy, but calling him dumb is, dumb. But I guess that
Now-
means dumb people will probably vote for the dumb thing.
Exactly.
Let me, poor Mike Pence, Lord.
Oh.
Did he even get to talk?
Well, thank you for that question, Eddie. You know, when I stood up and put my hand on the Bible and swore to protect the Constitution of the United States, it's like, Mike, go have a bowel movement and come back, all right, man?
Now, you know, I always got to think of something to include Trump some kind of way.
Yeah.
Now, just imagine Trump being Mike Pence lawyer and ask him a straight up question. I want to answer straight up. How Trump will respond and Mike do the way he do, you know?
You tell him to
Yeah,
listen up.
Well, did you hear the one line from Pence? Because Christie said so-and-so is, Joe Biden is sleeping with a member of the teachers union, so he can't be trusted with this. And then Mike Pence jumped in thinking it was his moment, and it had to be improv. He's like, well, I will just inform you, I've been sleeping with a teacher for 38 years, and I'm proud of it. I'm not a... It's like... All right, Mike.
I mean,
That's just gross. I can throw up now.
The lady gave him a softball question. Said, "What you think about Obamacare? What you gonna do about Obamacare?"
Right.
He went to talk about how many seeds he needs to play this garden next week and all that. I won't ask you nothing about your damn garden.
It was all over the place. Like, they couldn't get, like, and, oh, man.
Just imagine him getting 89 years old, being the president, and can't answer a question. You know.
Well, that's
He's
a
been
common
working
thing
right
in
now for somebody.
politics.
He close to 99. How old is he?
Pence?
Pence?
Yeah.
Pence,
I think Pence is like
younger.
60.
I'd say, yeah.
60, 61, that sort of range.
Yeah.
He needs to borrow some of Deion Sanders died in and died of hell. He looking old.
He is
for
looking
being
old.
that young.
He needs some of Dion's.
No, Pence has looked that way since his
old.
20s.
Yeah.
Right.
Now that young buck, the old young buck, quick on his feet, but he don't be saying nothing though. And the poor little what's the color boy? What's his name?
Oh, my
Scott
goodness.
Boy, yeah, that boy pitiful man. That boy ain't going back to the house. Hit it down. I already told you to start where y'all want to put that other one up in the White House. You know, I already told you that. Ain't there another dog I get nowhere into that White House? Never again. Nope, not to be
That's just
so
pessimistic
wrong.
and
I'm
despairing
just
thinking.
telling you how it is now.
Well, that's
So
just
you're telling me-
defeatism
you're telling me
mentality.
right now, if Michelle Obama came out tomorrow, called Joey and said, "I want to announce on your show, she's gonna
Let
run
me
for
change it.
president."
No, they ain't gonna let him in there. They ain't gonna let her in there either.
Who's they? Who's they? Just out with it. Who's they?
A white in them.
You're so
On
full
both
of crap,
sides.
man.
But especially on the Republican side, they would not put no Negro in the White House. I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness.
And the state of Alabama would not put one in the legislature. Now,
But
prove me wrong.
there's a black man who's a Republican who's in the state legislature.
Republican.
Yeah, Kenneth Pascal.
Yeah.
The same one that Gwendolyn Gavan saw fit.
That's that blind acorn I didn't see. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, but you got to love that. That's the guy that Representative Gwendolyn Gavan said that, citing Jay-Z's lyrics, you still won, Kenneth.
Oh,
You're
I
still one.
forgot
You're
about
still one.
that.
That was really,
Yeah.
that's love. It's a great mentality. It's really going to lead everybody to success.
Yeah.
But see, when this guy, what's this guy the other day called me a liberal. So when I listened to this mess last night and listened to our side too, the other side, which y'all call our side or my side, that's the reason I'm going to the middle from now on. But all of it is just a clown show right now,
Exactly
guys. Y'all
right.
know it.
Come on
Huh?
to the middle where we just sit here and be mad all
I'm
the
in the
time.
middle. I've been in the middle for a long time now. I just voted for Biden over old boy because I couldn't do Trump again. I can't do it. And y'all still trying to put him in there.
No, I think you're
Come
going to
on.
get Trump again. I think
think
just
you are.
because you keep saying that, you're going to get him again.
But what I'm saying,
voting for him.
looking at the way things are, that mess y'all had put on stage last night. Hell, I don't
Yeah.
blame Trump for going up there hanging out with him. Hell, I don't blame him for hanging out with that right there.
Why would you go hang
For
out
what?
with a bunch of losers?
Well, and hang on, Duke. I'm going to remind folks of the Chris Christie line. He really tried to live it, this big boy.
And we need it in Washington, D.C. also. And Donald Trump should be here to answer for that, but he's not. And I want to look at that camera right now and tell you, Donald, I know you're watching. You can't help yourself. I know you're watching, okay? And you're not here tonight, not because of polls and not because of your indictments. You're not here tonight because you're afraid of being on the stage and defending your record. You're ducking these things. And let me tell you what's going to happen. You keep doing that, no one up here is going to call you Donald Trump anymore. We're going to call you Donald Duck.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one right there.
See, he got to say it right if he gonna say something like that. Got to put the duck first.
Well, he was just reading it off the cue card. He did not have time to rehearse the line. So
you got to put ducking ass Donald from Queens.
I get it. Read it from the cue card.
If you're going to say it now. Huh? Ducking ass Donald from Queens.
Right. Exactly.
Huh? If you're going to be a man, be a man. You can say it. Don't be pissing around the bushes and all that.
No, I have a feeling we're going to find out that it actually is healthy to inject bleach into your veins, like it was claimed that Trump said, that actually the windmills do cause cancer and make the whales batty, that climate change, that whole agenda is a hoax, and that I'm really rich. And why would they say Mar-a-Lago isn't worth what it's worth? Of course it's worth what
I
it's
would
worth.
sell it today for $18.5 million. I could make
And really, I didn't know it was illegal to exaggerate your wealth, because I don't think Trump's the only one who does it. But I just have a feeling, Duke, that as much as people are protesting, trying to take Trump out through lawfare, we might end up with him again.
I already told you, if he make it through all this stuff and the legal stuff,
yeah,
I'm going to vote for him. I am going to vote for him. And I'm going to figure out get on the ticket.
Oh, can you imagine this if Biden croaks
Huh?
like Rabbit, like, and he's just done,
Okay.
and they don't have time to get anybody new in there, and they put Kamala Harris, the cop, they put Kamala the cop up against the convict Donald Trump. I think he wins all day, every day.
Oof, Keystone Cops.
Hey,
we ain't back in the blue this time, honey. We're going with the convict. Anyway, Duke, I gotta run, man.
So, Trump be like, what's the girl? Stewart hangs out with Martha Stewart, yeah.
Martha Stewart, yeah. Classy lady.
Yes, she
She
is.
makes a heck of a scone.
Yeah, you wish, Eddie. I appreciate it, Duke.
See you, Duke.
272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services. And their Pest Pro Services, Ashley and her team are ready to help you.
Yes, they are, Joe.
Now, it could be you've got a termite problem, or you want to prevent that termite problem. Maybe you want to get rid of those mosquitoes. Or it could be it's like a quick emergency where you're like, oh, no.
Or it could be your quarterly service, and Zach called you yesterday to remind you that it's time for your quarterly service at one of your rental properties. That's the kind of, if he wouldn't have called me, honestly, I would have forgotten. I wouldn't have let the tenant know, and everybody would have wasted their time.
Yeah, maybe like a feral cat got stuck between a screen and a thing like under your crawl space, and
that's a smell.
it's starting to stank.
That's a smell.
Well, they have people that can crawl under that. In fact, that's when you first
That's when I met
Zach.
Zach.
Yeah.
I needed a termite job on a house that was built on a conventional foundation, but over time, that foundation had kind of sank a little bit.
Well, and they're at Pest Pro. They pride themselves on serving folks here in the River Region well. And I know for a fact, I was talking with Zach and Ashley the other night. Their business has grown and grown and grown, and they're keeping up standards that really make a lot of folks happy.
Yeah.
So I think the best way to work with Pest Pro is to have a regular relationship with them. Have that quarterly schedule at least. That way, if you do have something crazy pop up, you never know what can happen. They got your back, but they're pretty much going to be able to prevent any crazy problem there. They're just that good there at Pest Pro Services. So check them out today. You can always call them at 265-9990. That's 265-9990. You can also go to ppsriverregion.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces. When you want to know, call a pro. Pest Pro Services. And be sure to tell Ashley and that great team there, Joey and Eddie from News and Views in the Afternoon sent you. We'll be right back after this.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage.
For years, I've been asking you to call me at Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. Did you know the current national average turn time to close on a mortgage is 48 business days? But not at Alabama Home Mortgage. At Alabama Home Mortgage, our average close time is 16 business days. That's a month faster than the rest. How do we do it? With over 60 years of combined experience in the industry. Our team knows mortgages. Our years of experience yield a better experience for our customers. Folks, time is money. Whether you're looking to buy or refi, don't waste time with another mortgage company, bank, or credit union. We close on time, every time. Give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Our fast turn time is just one difference that sets us apart from the rest. It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
What'll it be, Joe?
Coffee and apple pie. Whoa, Madge, what was that?
The lights? Oh, they always dim when the dishwasher turns on.
You should call Crosby Electric.
You think?
Overloaded circuits at your business can be dangerous. The experts at Crosby Electric can upgrade your electrical service to safely handle the load. And they can add receptacles where needed to eliminate overuse of extension cords.
Madge, I'd like to pay you. The problem is it's so dark in here I can't read my bill.
No, the problem is you're cheap.
Well, that's a problem too.
Effective, attractive lighting is essential for any business. Crosby Electric can help with a new lighting scheme that will give your business a fresh, exciting look. And they can recommend outdoor lighting for greater safety and security.
That'll be $4.50 for the coffee and pie, Joe.
Don't I get anything for recommending Crosby Electric?
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome.
Don't put off essential electrical upgrades for your business. Call 272-2085 or visit crosbyelectric.com.
Hi, I'm Paul Doe. Me and my wife Jessica own the Seafood Bistro over here in Perry Hill and Carmichael. We've been advertising with Blue Water Broadcasting for going on 3 years now. It has been a great turnout. It's been a pleasure partnering with a local company like Blue Water. And if you have your own business, I suggest teaming up with a partner like Blue Water Broadcasting. It's a local company that helps local businesses.
Radio works. It's as simple as that. Call us to find out how radio can work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by H&H Carpets, where you will find a complete line of Mohawk carpet with exceptionally clean, smart strand fiber. It's always available and ready to be installed. H&H Carpets, across from Walmart on the Atlanta Highway.
Rich Thomas weather.
Well, hi, everybody. The rain prospects are not good, and the drought prospects continues to expand across the state. Today, fairly comfortable, a nice easterly breeze, and a high temperature up to about 84. Should be dry. Any sunshine, I think, will be limited. Partly cloudy tonight, overnight low 64. Then back to the upper 80s tomorrow, and then near 90 on Saturday and Sunday. Mostly sunny, tolerable humidity, fairly comfortable nights with temperatures in the mid-60s overnight. Still dry on Monday and Tuesday with highs in the upper 80s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Web Bobo with Capital Tractor. The weather's always changing. Hot as blazes 1 minute, raining cats and dogs the next. What doesn't change is the dependability of Kubota's L-Series compact tractors to handle it all. Kubota and Capital Tractor in Montgomery, Brundage, and Greenville.
It's the 70th Alabama National Fair, October 6th through the 15th. Enjoy the rides, circus, shows, and the food.
I really enjoy munching my way down the Midway. I can just smell all the great food I love. Giant turkey legs, funnel cakes, corn dogs, and anything deep fried.
Get the free Fair app at your app store. Coliseum Clear Bag policy in effect. 17 and under must be accompanied by an adult 21 or over.
It's the best 10 days of fall.
October 6th through the 15th.
Alabama National Fair.
Sponsored by the Kiwanis Club of Montgomery, Hyundai Motor Manufacturing Alabama, and Coca-Cola.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Live local talk. The River Region's only 24-hour News Talk FM station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. This part of the program brought to you by, Jonathan Strange and the team there at XI Repair. And of course, at XI Repair, they specialize in fixing smartphones. So it could be you have a dirty port.
Right.
and your charger's not going to connect when you got a dirty port.
It doesn't make a good connection at all.
It could be you got water damage. Maybe you left it outside overnight or dropped it in the pool or the toilet.
Or this morning, maybe you're getting in the car and your hands are full. You dropped it in the driveway. Now you got a busted screen.
Oh, goodness.
It happens.
And the amount of people that just try to live through that.
That's what kills me. When you got a guy right down the street here.
Well, I'm guessing people just don't know.
That's my thought. Because I didn't know. I'll be honest. I was one of those people. I just assumed I would have to take it, send it back.
Or like the person who's like, well, my battery's not holding the charge. I guess I got to get a new phone. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
XI Repair can replace that battery.
Replace that battery for you. Save you a lot of money.
And here's what we mean. Like, I'm using an iPhone 10 for filming, at least on me here. And an iPhone 10 can go for a big chunk of change still.
Yes, it does.
It had a bad port, this one. It was a dirty port. And the battery wasn't holding the charge. I think I got out of there like under $120, and they fixed it in about an hour.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Pretty impressive. And, of course, it's not just smartphones, folks. It's desktop computers, laptop computers, top-end gaming consoles like PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
They've even done work on Eddie's drone.
They sure have.
And they can do data recovery services. So maybe you deleted something really important to you, didn't mean to. They can recover that there.
They can.
At XI Repair, or maybe somebody tried to delete something on purpose, trying to get out of legal trouble. Well, have your lawyer contact XI Repair. They do a lot of that sort of work.
Exactly.
They can recover that information for you. So check them out today. You can always go to xirepair.com, the letter X, the letter I, repair.com, or give them a call at 777-1234. That's 777-1234. And be sure to tell those fine folks there at XI Repair that Joey and Eddie from News and Views in the Afternoon sent you. Let's go to Sam.
What up,
Hello,
Sammy?
Sam.
Hey, thanks for taking my call. No, last time I saw Jonathan, was it a month ago, month and a half? He had 4 or 5 of the iPhones for sale over there at the at Perry Hill branch, and I'm hanging with the Android, and I'm still listening out.
Nice.
But yeah, man, nothing wrong with saving a lot of money.
Nothing wrong with it at all.
Nothing wrong with that at all. Oh man, I'm just so I had show me your kitties, huh? That's the T-shirt of the day. That's so good. I've got anyways. I have a fresh litter of sweet little kittens here, and they're pretty and wonderful. It's before they become cats. You get a few months of good joy out of them before they grow up. Just become so sorry. But the reason I called, the whole thing about the barrel of ice cream. I was just going to share this. When you go to a barrel of ice cream, it's like floating a keg. Don't do it by yourself. You get your friends around, and it looks like it's going to be an impossible job, but before you know it, keg's floating. So
you never floated a keg by yourself?
Have you?
No.
Well, you guys a bunch of girls?
No, I sometimes I think you're just
what's wrong with you guys?
Moron. Sometimes I don't think you can get any dumber, and then you go and do something like that and totally redeem yourself.
You never floated a keg by yourself?
Not by myself, no. You mean over what period of time?
It's like 3-week period.
Oh yeah, well you have a kegerator. Okay, good for you.
Shoot, I do that now.
Yeah. Yeah, you ran out of beer. Okay, that's not the same.
You got me.
Not the same.
I missed. Hey, guys, I missed.
Was
that.
it a mini keg? That's what it was.
Pony keg. That used to be a real treat though, going over to Maxwell or Gunner.
Oh yeah.
And I started to fight. I got kind of gotten away from all that over the decades, but there's one other thing that just had me rolling laughing. The whole thing about the Lake Martin secret society, the upper crust. I can picture it, man. No, listen. There's the pilot for a TV show. I can see it. The realtor. Yes, Eddie. He gets caught, slipping up on shore, and they're questioning him. Who are you? The FBI? Law? Something? No.
You're not too far off from the
man. I'm just trying to save this goat,
realtor.
Man. Stop killing him.
Oh man. I'd rather be visited by a repo than a realtor. Oh my God.
Well, Sam, I'm out of time. I got to hop to Ray Bowles.
Hey guys. Thank y'all. All right. That's all
See
I
you,
got.
Sammy.
And let's finish off the show here with Ray Bowles,
Hey,
Bradley
Ray.
Carpet. Hey, Ray.
Hey, talking about those cute, cuddly kittens. I remember one time Ron had some cute, cuddly kittens, and you can't get rid of cute, cuddly kittens at all, right?
Right.
Because if we're being honest, nobody wants them.
Yep.
So he put an ad in the bulletin board. This is back in the day when you had the bulletin board. Kittens to bad home. Please do not feed them. Do not love them. Do not care for them. Only if you have a bulldog can you have one of these. Would you believe they were gone in 2
I
hours?
bet they were going in minutes, man.
Oh,
Minutes.
man. People calling angry. I mean, they were screaming at him, where do you live? And he's like, oh, here on Wetumpka Street. He said, they were coming to get those kittens so fast.
Rubes.
Yep. So if you have kittens, do an ad about sending them to a bad home, not a good home.
They'll get going.
They will go to a really good home.
It's so genius.
I just love all your advice when it comes to animals, Ray.
Yeah. Well, Darla's at the vet right now, man. I took her this morning, and I said, get on the weight scale. She sits on the weight scale. She's a boxer, and you know how they are.
Yeah.
Looking at me like, I don't know about this, Pop. And then the lady said, oh, it don't work. And so I get her off, get her back on, and we go in and we talk, and I give her the leash, and as she's dragging her off, oh, you just see the look she gave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's not going to like me for a month after this week.
Yep.
Yeah. They're keeping her tonight, giving her, I said, give her every shot you got, buddy.
Hey, you still sell carpet?
We do. If you need a floor, call us, 285-8117. I need to sell something because there's no telling what this vet bill's going to be tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Overnighter, you know how that's
If you want to help with those
Yeah.
bills, folks, 285-8117 is the number for Prattville Carpet. That's 285-8117. And when you call 285-8117, be sure to tell them you heard Ray Bowles here on the radio with Joey and Eddie.
If you got some kittens to give away, call me. I have a great way to do it.
There you go.
Thank you, Ray.
Appreciate
Guys,
it, Ray.
have a great day.
You too, brother, man.
Man, I like that guy a lot.
He's crazy.
I like all our sponsors.
I
man.
do.
They're great.
I do too, man.
It's not just because, we got a business relationship.
No,
It's really great folks
I'll
to
usually
work
see
with.
a lot of them in the wild, and it's great. We'll come up and have a conversation.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, these are cool folks.
Well, if you don't know, folks, again, Jack Campbell's funeral tomorrow is at 2. Right. So tomorrow will be a replay of the show. This will be the final live show of the week here. But we'll be back Monday, noon to 3 live. And
Right.
Again, Jack Campbell's funeral service will be at 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon at St. Peter's Catholic Church. Y'all stay tuned. Happy Hour with Greg Vidal. He's next.